Right, shalom, Saran, man. So we give praise, esteem, and honor to the Most High Yahuwah in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. We Baruch His Kadash Shabbat. Pick us up in the 5th chapter of John in the 39th verse. So search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and there they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come in my Abba's name, and you receive me not. Another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive another and seek not the honor that comes from Elohim only? And I think that I will accuse you to Abba. There's one that accused you, even Moses, of whom you trust. That's why you shouldn't have done that. That's why you shouldn't have done that. It doesn't matter. She can walk. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Nobody to make you do anything. So stop telling that story. Stop trying to picture up who weigh twice as much as you. So let me start it over. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, but there they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come in my Abba's name, and you receive me not. For another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one of another, and not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you to Abba. There's one that accused you, even Moses, of whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? Ephesians chapter 3, verse 14, yet again. What you talking about, little baby?
What's the verse?
3 and 4.
3 and 14.
No, I'm gonna give you something to try. I want to see what your face you gonna make. Huh. Oh yeah. Get healthy. Oh, she seems to delight in it. You like it? Yes, yes you do. Ephesians 3 and 14. For this cause I bow my knees unto Abba of our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach, of whom the whole family in heaven and earth is named, that he would grant you according to the riches of his esteem, to be strengthened with might by his Ruach in the inner man, that Mashiach may dwell in your hearts by faith, and that you, being rooted and grounded in love, may be able to comprehend with all saints what is the breadth, length, depth, and height, and to know the love of Mashiach, which pass knowledge, that you might be filled with the fullness of Elohim. Shalom, man. Now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that work in us. Come over here to Yahushua, son of Nun, chapter 18. I believe that's what I wanted. That's what I was looking right at it last night, and that's exactly what I had wanted. Go sit down, little bub. Matter of fact, make it John chapter 8. I'm gonna share with y'all something that I was on this morning. Yeah, you just download the apps, huh?
You could be there all day. In 10 scriptures, you still gonna be on.
John chapter 8, man. Pick it up at verse 12. Trying to tell you. You see that right there, boy? App, son.
You like that LG boy, put it to work. Man, candy, bro.
Scrolling on the book. Should have had the book on your phone. How you got the Facebook app? Don't got the Bible app. You could have ordered the olive tree app. There's many Bibles. John chapter 8, verse 12. Sir. Quiet. Then spake Yahushua again unto them, saying, I'm the light of the world. He that follow me shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. The Pharisees therefore said unto him, you bear record of yourself. Your record is not true. Yahushua answered and said unto them, though I bear record of myself, that my record is true. For I know whence I came and where I go, but you cannot tell whence I come and where I go. You judge after the flesh, I judge no man. And yet if I judge, my judgment is true. For I am not alone, I and Abba that sent me. It is written in your law that the testimony of 2 men is true. I am the one that bear witness of myself. The Father that sent me bear witness of me. Who can tell me in the book of the prophets where there's a scripture that coincides with what he just said? This is to bring something back to your memory. Because it's been a while. Do you know? Do you know? You don't know. You playing with that baby. Who knows what scripture refers to this here? He said that he bear witness of himself and his Father bear witness of him too. Jeremiah, it's not Jeremiah. Going once? Michael, you know? Why you don't know? Because I ain't never told you. Because I ain't never told you. Not in Isaiah. When I say prophets, that's meaning that's starting from Genesis. Because all the men is prophets. From Moses to Job to not Joseph. When he said Malachi 3:1. It's not Malachi 3:1. So when he says that I bear record of myself and my Father bear witness of me. He said it's written in your law that the testimony of 2 men is true. I am one that bear witness of myself. And the Father that sent me bear witness of me. No, it's not. Come over here to the book of Job real fast if you would. Job chapter 16. Yep. Yeah, it's been a while. That's just your phone, probably, bro. The phone probably old. I'm not if I'm saying when the phone old, it slows down. Because that app probably taking the storage space up on it, so your phone. Yeah, you need your new phone. That phone probably good though.
Real, I ain't want to even go on the road. Definitely.
I ain't being funny, bro. Shoot.
I couldn't even pull up the GPS at night.
Yeah, you need a new phone.
I wasn't going to know nobody.
Period. Talk, if your GPS don't pull up, you don't know where you're going. Niggas not being funny, bro.
Everyone.
Just telling you, brother. What difference does it make?
Hold on, bro. That means, man. No. I think the page.
Job chapter 16, right?
This ain't one. I was making.
Picking up at verse 6. Quiet, please. Both of them.
Hey, you said you were gonna go sit over there, so go ahead. Let's how you do what you doing. So you know where it is. You know where you are.
16:6. Though I speak, my grief is not assuaged. Though I forbear, shalom. What am I eased? But now he has made me weary. You have made desolate all my company. You have filled me with wrinkles, which is a witness against me. And leanness rising up bear witness to my face. Let's look at this here where it say wrinkles. Because we know it ain't wrinkles. It's been a long time. It's been some years since we've been around here. When we got wrinkles here, everybody, we have kamat. So it is not wrinkles. It is something that is seized. Something that is snatched away prematurely. So when he say you filled me with seizures, or if he filled him with seizures, that means he's been taken away. Now, you can think upon this. You got Kuf, you got Mean, you got Tet. Do you have those letters, Mama? Very well.
Yeah, I got those letters.
I wouldn't ask you. I know I sent them to you. So why would I ask you that? I'm saying you didn't have to interject this. I was asking her because I didn't know if she had them. Have you familiarized yourself with them? We're just going to have to change that. Shalom, Jessica. So you got Kuf, Mean, and Tet. This is something that is seized or is snatched away. So for Tet, you probably would use snake. For Meme, you probably say chaos. Now, when you sit back and you look at that Kuf, where we say horizon, we're not going to say light in this instance. But we probably would say final, or this is the last work of chaos of the serpent. You understand? Because he getting snatched away. Remember, that doesn't say wrinkles. He didn't fill them with wrinkles. He filled them with getting cut off. He filled them with getting captured. That's what he was filled with. He said, and that is a witness against it. So that means that we would actually need to go look at somebody who's a witness of someone being captured unjustly. Now, who can you think of that was captured unjustly? Joseph is one, but that's too easy. But we'll put him to the side. Because how many witnesses do we need to make the matter true? 2 or 3. So let's come with 2 more.
Meshach, Shadrach.
They weren't taken unjustly. They weren't in prison. They were thrown in the furnace. Samson is one. That is a good one. You got 1 more. Very easy.
Daniel was taken unjustly.
Daniel was put in the lion's den. He wasn't incarcerated. Samson was actually incarcerated. Job was actually incarcerated. Jeremiah, he was incarcerated. See, you can look at those other men. We're not looking at Daniel and Meshach, Azariah, and because they were actually being tortured. Zedekiah got locked up because he refused to listen to Jeremiah, to follow Yahuwah, and he got locked up and his eyeballs got poked out. That's what happened. So you can look at that, but he was not incarcerated unjustly. Zechariah was incarcerated justly. Oh, hey, Ty, how you doing, man? So when you look at it, that's a witness. So remember when we was looking at that, last week in 2 Corinthians chapter 6, when Paul was talking about, the tribulations, the imprisonments, the torments, and all that type of stuff, those are witnesses against him. Because Job did not get seized. Who took Job? Job ain't get locked up. Ain't nobody grabbed Job. None of that happened. This is how, and I'm using this as an example, this is how you see that Job is a prophet. He's not speaking of himself. But just so you know, this is Job speaking in the 16th chapter. You can always tell the difference when Job's speaking versus his friends speaking, because when Job's speaking, he's speaking more about affliction and trust in Elohim than when his friends are speaking. When a young man go to speaking in about chapter 32, he's snapping on all them. Girl, fix your clothes. Fix your clothes. Fix your clothes. You got your business in the street. These niggas still out here protesting. Ain't that something? He said, my leanness rising up in me bear witness to my face. Well, let's look at leanness. Let's see what that is. You have kakash, lying, deception, leanness, or failure of the flesh. It also means emaciation or figuratively hypocrisy. So now it says, right now we can look at this in 2 ways. He say his leanness is bearing witness to his face. Somebody let me go. Now, what y'all think would be appropriate? Is it leanness or is it deception?
I say deception.
Pay attention to the verse. He said the leanness is rising up in him, bearing witness to his face. Now, bear witness is a nod. It's to answer, to respond, to testify, to speak, or to shout. Now, I'm not saying you're wrong. I just want you to, I told you that because you're not familiar. Hello. You're not familiar with these things. You have to look at the context of the verse. Now, the characters here, Pa, Kot, and Shan. So you got, of course, you got consuming, you have separation, and you got subdued. So your deception would be correct. I'm telling you, you have to look at context. Okay, you always have to look at context of what's being stated before you answer. So let's look at something before, because he says that the deception is
I was thinking about
bearing witness to his faith. First and foremost, let's do this. Can you think of a witness of someone who had deception bearing witness to his faith? Someone who had someone lying on him to his face. Of course, we know Joseph because that woman lied on him. But how about somebody else?
One of Jacob's brothers. Joseph's brothers. They lied.
They didn't lie on Joseph to his face. That woman lied on Joseph to his face and said that he tried to rape her.
Sarah lied.
Sarah didn't lie.
To the face. When you said you laughed, she said, "No, I didn't laugh."
It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. You really got to look at the context of the whole verse. The whole verse is talking about somebody who is suffering
because of a lie.
Yes.
Okay.
You have to look at the context. That's why I just told you that. If he just told you that wrinkles, you have filled me with wrinkles, or you filled me with seizure, that is a witness against me. So he's telling you that, and then he's telling you that my leanness or deception rising up in me bear witness to my face. No, not on that one. Somebody else was in my head. I just forgot it. Give me a moment to come back to mind.
You said somebody lied, and that's why.
No, what was in my mind is, remember that when Mashiach was brought up, this was what I was thinking about, and that's what his name escapes my mind. What Jezebel did by taking the vineyard of Nabal, she sent false witnesses saying that he blasphemed Elohim and the king. The same way that the scribes and Pharisees sent people to bear false witness on Yahushua, and none of their witnesses agreed one to the other. So this is what he's telling you when he say it rises up to my face, because they lied to Nabal to his face. See, come on over here to Kings, I believe.
That one Ananias and X5 B1.
Oh yeah, but see, they lied to the Ruach. See, you looking at somebody who did justly, and the lies is rising up to them, because they just was some nasty niggas. Yeah, they just was some nasty. I mean, what you mean? Niggas lie to the Ruach every day. They just profess to believe, but shoot, niggas lie every day.
First Kings, Second Kings.
First Kings. Make sure I got what I want. First Kings, chapter 21 and 1. Joy, why you sitting there like that? Sit up straight. You hurt your neck and your back. That's bad posture. You hurt your neck and your back. It came to pass after these things that the boss of Jezreel had a vineyard, which was in Jezreel, hard by the palace of Ahab, king of Samaria. Ahab spake unto the boss, saying, give me your vineyard, that I may have it for a garden of herbs, because it is near unto my house. I will give it you for a better vineyard than it, or if it seem good to you, I will give you the worth of it in money. Nabal said to Ahab, Yahuwah forbid me that I should give the inheritance of my fathers unto you. Now that's why I was talking about last night of some of that stuff that we were looking at, right? You seen how all that stuff was divvied up? We're probably gonna go back, we're gonna go back and look at Judah's divvying up today specifically. But I've told you this before. It tells you this here that you cannot remove the ancient's landmark or remove your neighbor's landmark. That's referring to his inheritance. Matter of fact, let me get that for you out the law. Come over here to Leviticus. Matter of fact, it's Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 19. We'll read it in every spot. We ain't dealt with this in a long time, so we might as well do it. Deuteronomy 19 and 14. After that, Deuteronomy 27 and 17. It says in Deuteronomy 19 and 14, you shall not remove your neighbor's landmark, which they of old time have set an inheritance, which you shall inherit in the land that Yahuwah your Elohim give you to possess it. Now here is the Hebrew word for landmark. It is gabor. It is your border or your territory. So when it tells you that you can't remove, you cannot take your neighbor's territory. Remember, that's all that stuff we were looking at last night, right? It's one of them chapters when Yahushua son of Nun brought them in the land. He gave each tribe territory. Everybody has a border. Everybody has a plot of land. Can't nobody take that from you. Can't do it. See, this is one of the things also that the scribes and Pharisees violated, because they were trying to take Yahushua's territory or take his border. Because they say if we let him alone, all the people will come after him. So they were trying to take or remove the neighbor's landmark or his territory, because that's the inheritance. When he said, which they of old time have set an inheritance. See, come over here to Luke chapter 1, if you would, verse 31.
So the people was his inheritance, Yahushua's inheritance.
No, sir. The land.
Oh, okay. What book is chapter?
Luke chapter 1. Luke chapter 1 and verse 31. We're gonna have to tie this in to some stuff in the prophets to show forth that the land was his dominion. Because what did we read last night that Yahushua did in Luke 13? What did he do? No, he walked the land. Just like Abraham walked the land. Why did Abraham walk the land? To claim his inheritance, because that's what was promised to him. So that's his land. That's his inheritance. Because at the end of the day, the inheritance got passed down to Isaac and Jacob. The original promise was given to Abraham. Let's continue. Then on top of that, I got another one to hit that behind that to show you that they were trying to take his boy. Praise the Lamb. So let's look at this. Luke chapter 1, verse 31. And behold, you shall conceive in your womb and bring forth a son, and shall call his name Yahushua. He shall be great and shall be called the Son of the Highest. Yahuwah Elohim shall give unto him the throne of his father David. He shall reign over the house of Jacob forever, and of his kingdom there shall be no end. Now I want you to come over here to Micah chapter 4. And then after that, Psalm 72. From Psalm 72, Leviticus 24. We still got Deuteronomy 27. And we still got Job. Make sure I'm in the right place. Micah chapter 4, verse 6. And that day saith Yahuwah, I will assemble her that halt. I will gather her that is driven out, and her that I have afflicted. I will make her that halted a remnant, her that was cast far off a strong nation. Yahuwah shall reign over them in Mount Zion from henceforth even forever. And you, O tower of the flock, stronghold of the daughter of Zion, unto you shall it come, even the first dominion, the kingdom shall come to the daughter of Jerusalem. So y'all should remember, Michael, what you think the first dominion is? He says that it shall come even the first dominion. So when is the first time that you can read in the text about somebody having dominion or rule? What Monica, where you at? I'm not asking you, son. Do you know who got the first dominion? I want to see them two to answer that. You wait, son. Wait to be acknowledged. Because you're going to beat them to it. They don't know this stuff. What you think? Who the first person had dominion that you can read about? You're not sure? What about you, Monica? You're out there hiding with your walking boot on like you've been playing basketball. You ain't played no ball somewhere. Trying to push her down the stairs. Nah, she coming here talking about I fell down the stairs. And that is here. Trying to beat you. He been beating you. Did you look at him and say, hey, you son, hop with me? Now, don't you be beating that woman. That's not nice. Who you think for the first person you can read about, though, Monica, in all seriousness, that having dominion? You don't know? Who you think? Give me a guess. Both of y'all just give me a guess. It doesn't matter. I'm not concerned with that. That means rule, authority, power. Who? Yahuwah? Well, of course, but I'm talking about on the earth. On the earth. Because Yahushua came on the earth later. because he was up there in the beginning from the junction. But those aren't wrong answers. But we're talking about fleshly incantations. And you gentlemen are correct, but I'm not going to tell them that. First person had rule and dominion. Who's the first person Yahuwah gave dominion to? That's what first person. When he say first dominion, he referring to Adam. That's the first person who got rulership. He had rulership over the whole earth at that particular juncture. So let's come back over here. And then what was the other one I mentioned? It was microphone. Oh, Psalm 72. Yes, ma'am.
17.
I didn't say a verse. You can pick it up at verse 1. You would have been correct. He said, give the king your judgments, O Elohim, your righteousness unto the king's son. See, we talked about that not too long ago. Remember John chapter 5, he said, the Father has given judgment into the hand of the Son. The righteousness, which is the Ruach HaKodesh, he gave unto the Son. He shall judge your people with righteousness and the poor with judgment. The mountains shall bring shalom to the people. The little hills are righteousness. He shall judge the poor of the people. He shall save the sons of the needy and shall break in pieces the oppressor. They shall fear you as long as the sun and moon endure throughout all generations. He shall come down like rain upon the mown grass, as showers water the earth. In his day shall the righteous flourish. Abundance of shalom so long as the moon endure. He shall have dominion also from sea to sea and from the river unto the ends of the earth. So this is what he said. This is a prayer for the king's son, that he'll have dominion from sea to sea and from one end of the earth to the other. Now come over here to Zechariah chapter 9. Because Zechariah going to tell you the same thing again. You can pick it up at verse 9. 9 and 9. I don't write it in that book. I said it. I said it in that book. I said
I don't have no marker.
Zechariah 9 and 9. Rejoice greatly, excuse me, O daughter of Zion. Shout, O daughter of Jerusalem, behold, the king is come unto you. He is just, having salvation, lowly, riding upon an ass and upon the colt foal of an ass. And I will cut off the chariot from Ephraim and the horse from Jerusalem, and the battle bow shall be cut off, and he shall speak shalom unto the heathen. His dominion shall be from sea even to sea, and from the river even to the ends of the earth. Notice that he said he speaks shalom to the heathen. I always wondered how so many people could overlook that particular point. But let's look at the next verse. As for you also, by the blood of your covenant, I have sent forth your prisoners out of the pit where is no water. Now, I mention that for those of you who don't know. When he say that he sent forth prisoners out of the pit, see, that also refers you to Joseph, because Joseph was incarcerated. The pit is the grave. Water is symbolic to life. There's no life in the grave. So it's referring to the resurrection of the dead. And that those that trust in him, notice we say blood of your covenant. Without the blood of Mashiach, there is no new covenant. So therefore you can't get the Ruach. So therefore you couldn't resurrect from the dead. Therefore you can't live forever. So that's what that's referring to. It's the resurrection of the dead. That this man's blood brought forth everlasting life. Because why are we prisoners? Now I'm gonna get this John chapter 8 now. I was trying to work my way through it. I got to go back to it a little earlier than I anticipated. Matter of fact, I'm not going to do that, because then it's going to throw everything out of order. So we just establishing how he got all this dominion and this rule. He has rulership over the whole earth is his. Leviticus chapter 24 though. I want to say verse 22, but let me make sure.
What is it?
22 ain't what I want. And nobody hear all that. Don't nobody want to hear all of that. Yes, 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 yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, I see. I'm say, I'm trying to remember where it's at. It's mighty season. Hey, I can't remember. No, I didn't say you can't sell the land forever, but I can't remember what's that. It's escaping my mind. It gives a it's a direct commandment that you cannot sell the land because it is yours. I can't remember. All right. Come over here, Leviticus 20. I heard that. Leviticus 25 and 23.
All right.
Leviticus 25 and 23. It's been so long since I looked. I forgot that. Look at what he tell you in Leviticus 25 and 23. The land shall not be sold forever, for the land is mine. For you are strangers and sojourners with me. Listen what he said. The land shall not be sold. When you have sold, you have makar. That is clearly what? To sell. The land is mine. Forever is samuth. That is completion, finality, and in perpetuity. Now I want you to look at the characters for samuth. You got Sod, you got Meme, and you got two tiles. Sod, Meme, and two tiles. And it means something that is complete, that is final, or perpetuity. Y'all know what perpetuity means, right? Who don't know what perpetuity means? How you a teacher, you don't know what perpetuity means? What it mean then? Okay. I'll make sure, because I want to know how the people get you a teacher's license. You be looking at me crazy. I don't know what these words mean. How you pass the test? How you teach them children English? I teach math. Some of them words. Okay. I can't say that. I have talked. Some of them words. Oh, you had talked. How many of them children passed?
You played a major.
Blame it on the church. Blame it on the church. How I'm making them up? Niggas out making the words up. Like you can't find them in Webster.
You got to search on. Sit down.
You got Sod, Meme, and two tiles. Now look at what he tell you, right? He said you a stranger with him. Say you can't never sell this land because you sojourn and you a stranger with him. So at the end of the day, why do I mention this here? It ain't your land, cuz. It ain't your land. You borrow that land. I'm gonna read that to you again. The land shall not be sold forever, for the land is mine. Don't get it twisted. It ain't your issue. Or you a temporary inhabitant, a newcomer, lacking inherited rights. You know why you was a newcomer, lacking inherited? Because you was what would make you a stranger? Now the characters for that is Gamal and Raj. So what makes you a stranger? Why would he look at these people who he said he knew? Because he said Yasharal is my firstborn, let him go, right? Why sit back and say you a stranger with him? You a stranger to sojourn in his land.
Because we're not under the covenant.
Yeah, they was under the covenant. Shoot, it's in Leviticus. Yeah. I'm just mentioning no characters. That's what's in there. Hard-headed? No. What y'all think he called you a stranger for?
Because when we faithless and unbelievers, that's why.
No, he said you lack inherited rights. That's what it says. The stranger is referring to an actual stranger. So why would you, who will look at you and say, the land will not be sold forever. The land is mine. You're a stranger and a sojourner with me. If you're a stranger, again, it means you lack what?
Like you're not adopted.
You're not a son of God.
Yeah.
You're not a son of God. What does Revelation 21:7 say? He that overcometh, he will inherit all things. You ain't had no inheritance. Why you think, what did we read last night in Hebrews 4? If Yahushua had given them rest, he wouldn't have spoke of another day. You weren't a son of God, so of course you a stranger. Nigga, I don't know you. You here temporary. Because I know you going to buck me. I got to put you out. I put you out. Sons of God don't get put out. What son put his daddy out the house? We didn't talk about that before. That's a new thing. You turn 18, you got to get out. Isaac was about almost 60 years old before he left his daddy's house. Now, I don't care how long they lived. If they lived longer than that, that's irrelevant. Jacob was probably about a good 40 before he slid. See, that's a different conversation for a different time. Slid and went and stayed at his uncle's house.
And we strangers. We don't have to do
I'd have been told you that. You ain't got no inheritance. You ain't part of the. And we just read the whole family in heaven and earth is named after who? Mashiach. So if you ain't in part of his family, nigga, what inheritance you got? When we read Ezekiel 46 a while back, the prince had given inheritance to who? His sons. That's what he said he gonna give it to. The inheritance in the text always referred to the land. That's not your land, because only the prince can give you the inheritance. Only Yahuwah can give the inheritance. You can't give no inheritance. It ain't your land. If it was your land, how could you get put out? And niggas around here talking about leave some inheritance in America. Nigga, this ain't your land, fool. But that's another conversation for another day as well. What y'all got for that side meme and 2 tiles? Sod, meme, tile. For perpetuity. We will accept it. Because at the end of the day, that's perpetuity. That's finality and that's completion. Period. Point blank. You know what I'm saying? And that's the Ruach HaKodesh. That's why it's necessary. That's why it's necessary. But we went all through that to show you that the land belonged to who? So they were trying to take Yahushua's inheritance, or his landmark, if you would. Deuteronomy 27:17.
27 what?
17.
All right.
Sit back. Sit back.
Eugene! Don't get in trouble. Sit down like he asked you. Don't get in trouble, sir. I hate to see it for you. I don't want to see you get in trouble. Deuteronomy 27:17. Cursed be he that removes his neighbor's landmark, and all the people shall say amen. So if you want to move your neighbor's landmark or move your neighbor's inheritance, then guess what? You shall be damned. I'll just tell you what that word cursed is. If you didn't know, it is a rar, and that is to be cursed, to be laid under a curse, or to be made a curse. Proverbs 22:28. Eugene, be quiet. Quiet. Oh, that's bleak. Shoot, them niggas sound the same. And I'm just running through all. Listen to the next thing he say. Remove not the ancient landmark which your fathers have set. Now remove is nasag. That's the backslide, to move on, to prevent, to displace, or to carry away. He tell you not to do that. Proverbs 23:10. Then we go back to 1 Kings. It says, remove not the old landmark and enter not into the fields of the fatherless. Now, all of this is to sit back and look at. Now, when you look at enter not into the fields of the father, this is an orphan or a fatherless child. Now, I ask you this here, and I need specifics Was Yahusha a fatherless child? If he was a fatherless child, how could you prove it?
I was about to say no.
You would have to say no. Is anybody else would say no? Show of hands if you would say that Yahusha was not a fatherless child. Anybody else? You say that? You say that? Anybody else? He was not a father. I mean, he said he is a fatherless child.
No, he's not a fatherless child.
He's not a fatherless child.
Yeah.
Who says he is a fatherless child? Both are justifiable. Callie, why would you say he was a fatherless child? Oh, Melchizedek. I can see why you say that. That's on the earthly sense. For those of you who say that he is fatherless, how could you prove it?
I mean, I was just thinking in the instance.
That is how you prove that he was fatherless and why he told you not to enter into the fields of the fathers. Because they brought their stinking behinds down there trying to kill the man, and they violated that. Now we're going to look at that and we're going to prove it. I'm about to prove it.
Hold on, what is
Yahusha was a father. When he got up on that tree, what did he say? My Elohim, why have you forsaken me? What does Psalms 27 say? He says, if my father and mother forsake me, Yahuwah will take me up. Now, Joseph was not his father, correct? That's what the text say, right? Luke chapter 3. In John 19, what did he do with Mary? He gave her to John. So when he was on that tree, the book tells you in Habakkuk chapter 1, verse 4, that Yahuwah's eyes is too pure to do what? To look upon evil. Therefore, what did Yahuwah do to Yahusha? He turned his back on him. So for that instance, when he was on that tree, he just said, my father has forsaken me or abandoned me. What would that make it? That would make him a fatherless child. Because at that instance of his death, his father was not with him. It's not like he was a fatherless child for an extended period of time. He was a fatherless child for one moment in time in order to fulfill certain aspects of the scriptures. Because what does the book say in 2 Corinthians chapter 6? That he became sin who knew no sin. Now, Elohim does not commit sin. So therefore, in that time period when he became, matter of fact, let me ask you this here. When did Yahusha, what action in his crucifixion is when he actually physically became sin? Of all the things that they did to him, what is the one thing that showed you that he became sin? And it's in the law. With the tree, you can look at a tree because he said, cursed be he who hanged from a tree. Before he got put on the tree, there was something that they did to him.
Put the crown of thorns on him, right?
Crown of thorns don't show that he was sin. The something they did to him.
What they put on the purple garment.
Purple garment was to show he was a king. And when they what? When they beat him, that showed he was a fool because he say stripes are made for a fool's back. That was to get him prepared. That was like with us. Y'all don't hit almost everything. It's one thing you're missing. No, that's a different place. You might read that in Job 16 in a moment. It's in the law, though. Expose his nakedness. I can see that why you would say that when they stripped him. There's one thing specifically in the law that is done on a particular feast day for the purpose to show sin. They did it to him. Let me ask you this here, right? You got different types of cows, right? What color cows you got?
White, black, brown.
But you got one in particular. Some of y'all mamas used to call you that when you was being passed in the tail. The red heifer. What was that red heifer for in the law? It was for the purification of sin, but that red heifer was a manifestation of, this red heifer was representative of the sins of the people. He was slaughtered for that. That scarlet robe that they put on him. The minute they put that scarlet robe on him, Now he done took the sins of the people on.
Oh.
No, he didn't. He said purple. He said
I thought it
purple.
was purple. Oh.
No, they did close to that. And Luke 23, they put a purple robe on him and mocked him.
Yeah.
But that was to show that he was king. Purple is for royalty.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with Yahuwah, purple and with sinners, that's for something else. That's the Joker coat. That's another conversation. You know about the Joker coat?
Oh, you know what?
No, it's a real coat.
Just go back to that scripture, you know, Isaiah, where it says, though your sins be scarlet.
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Now I mentioned some of that stuff.
Okay.
Let me go back and grab it for you. So I don't want nobody to say I just made that up. No. Relax.
I'm just trying to get up.
Relax. You can't get understanding because you always talking. You gotta learn how to listen. Come over here to Psalms 27. See, sometimes your understanding can be satisfied if you just hold your peace. Psalms 27. 27:7. No, Eugene, no. Don't do it, bloodbath. Doggone Eugene. Don't like to listen. Psalm 27:7. Hear, O Yahuwah, when I cry, with my voice have mercy also upon me and answer me. When you said, seek you my face, my heart said unto you, your face, Yahuwah, will I seek. Hide not your face far from me, and put not your servant away in anger. You have been my help, leave me not, neither forsake me, O Elohim of my salvation. When my father and my mother forsake me, then Yahuwah take me up. Now Yahuwah did take him up, but you have to understand this is for a small window. See, we dealing when he said don't go into the fields of the fatherless. You know what I'm saying? See, they staking behind down there trying to mock the man. He told you don't bring your butt around there, fooling with the fatherless. Because what does he say in the law who he defends? The fatherless and the widow. See, Yahushua had to be fatherless for Yahuwah to come deliver him so that he could show forth that he stand up. Now let me put it to you this way. You ain't a fatherless child if your daddy a deadbeat. That don't make you no fatherless child. Your daddy has to die. See, you know, a lot of brews try to take this stuff and fit it in the modern time. See, them, you gotta look out for the fatherless children. No, that was somebody who was irresponsible with their vagina. That's not a fatherless child. No different than a single mother. It's not a widowed woman. No, she's a woman who had a child and is not married. Your husband has to die for you to be a widow. It's just book. Because y'all know a lot of brews say that stuff. Telling niggas they gotta look out for the widow. This whole ain't got no husband. She ain't never been married. That's not a widow. It's just irresponsibility. We have to call it what it is. See, that's why we don't get anywhere spiritually as a people, because we don't call things for what they are. That's a cloak for irresponsible behavior. See, the only way you can be better is to acknowledge that you had irresponsible conduct. Not dwell on it, but acknowledge it. I made a bad decision here. This was the consequence of that decision. This is what I learned from making that decision of why I would not make that decision again. Very, very simple concept. Very, very simple concept. But you cannot grow and elevate in life, period, when you refuse to acknowledge when you have made bad choices and decisions. Or when you try to play the victim or pass off responsibility to another person. It's definitely shameful in anyone, but it's trivially shameful when a man does it. Nevertheless, Habakkuk chapter 1 and verse 1. Joy. Put that pencil sharpener down before you get yourself in trouble. Put it down, because I don't want you to get in no trouble. So don't put yourself in a position to get in no trouble. Okay? But I'm not concerned with that. I just don't care for you to get in no trouble, because that's what's going to happen. You understand? That's what's going to happen. And I don't want that to you. See, Eugene already fell by the wayside. We don't want you to fall by the wayside. Habakkuk chapter 1 and 1. We still got what? Job 16? I'm good in Deuteronomy, good in Proverbs. I think Job 16 is all that I have. And John 8, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. The burden which Habakkuk the prophet did see. Listen what he said. Oh, Yahuwah, how long shall I cry and you will not hear? Even cry out unto you of violence and you will not save. Why do you show me iniquity and cause me to behold grievance, or spoiling and violence are before me? There are that raise up strife and contention. Therefore Torah is slack, judgment do never go forth, the wicked do compass about the righteous, and therefore wrong judgment proceeds. I gotta make sure I got the right verse. I don't want to too much of that. Come over here to verse 9, if you would. Matter of fact, no, I'm gonna give you verse 5. Behold, you among the heathen in regard and wonder marvelously. I will work a work in your days, but you will not believe, though it be told you. See, I think Paul or Stephen came back. I want to say Paul. He told the people that in Acts 13. They say, I'll work a work in your days, but you would no ways, but no wise believe, even though a man told it to you. That's for all them niggas, the Ruach is my teacher type niggas. Because the text tell you that the people said, we don't want to hear from Elohim no more. Let Moses say it to her. He said, you said correctly. From that point forward, you was going to get it from a man. That's how you got to get it. And look what he just told you. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to have a man tell it to you, and you're not going to believe it. That's why these people out here stupid as they is stupid. And that's why I said, you want to talk to none of the people you know. Because I know they stupid. I know they unskilled with the text. You know what I'm saying? And I don't feel like going through that until it's the time to get assaulted and verbally reviled and all that other stuff get thrown at you. It's not the time for that. See, it's the time to drop that dope on the street. You know what I'm saying? See, that's what I'm doing. See, you was earlier, you were talking about all that good weed you was smoking, but we know you lying. You ain't had no money. See, you was the type of nigga that like to smoke bad dope. You know what I'm talking about? That's why you go to niggas with that word who got that bad dope. See, you've been smoking bad dope so long, you thought it was fine. You know what I'm talking about? Because trust me, I done been out there. I've been around people who smoke bad dope. They be like, boy, this junk good, boy, this junk good. So they came around there and got that straight drop we were bringing. And they like this. It's too strong. I don't want that. I'm too high. It's too high, it's too good. Bro, I done had smokers tell me, boy, I don't want that. I don't want that. That's too strong. That's good dope. I ain't used to smoking that. I'm going back over here where that water at. See, that's what y'all like to do with them niggas with that bad toxin. See, your dope too strong. See, I can't smoke that. I need to go back over. See, that boy cut his a little bit. He put that acetone in there, put that extra to the little water, baking soda, and whip it over that motherfucker with that. You know what I'm talking about? It might bust me hit it from time to time, but it make me feel good. You know what I'm saying? See, you like that weed you smoke. Smooth. It's smooth. That junk trash. He faking like he high. You know what I'm talking about? Try to walk around like he drowsy. That nigga ain't sleeping.
You never been to microwave, man?
Yeah, we did. A homeboy from New York taught us to do it in the microwave. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? Like, yeah, I couldn't master it. Big Dog had that jump master. I ain't master. He showed me a couple times. I'm gonna let you do it. I'm good. You know what I'm talking about? But yeah, man. I'm being serious, like, bro, man, I've been telling y'all that for years, man. Most of these people out here smoke bad work. And that's what you like. You like it that way. Why you come on, man? The scribes and the Pharisees were selling bad work. Yahushua came on the scene. They said, oh boy, ain't nobody ever sold no dope like this. That's what it said, didn't it? It said ain't no man ever spoke like this. His dope got authority to it and power. I ain't never had nothing like this here, boy. That's what it said. I ain't making it all up. They think I'm making that up. Come over here to Matthew chapter 7. I ain't making this up. I'm just using the vernacular from my environment. But I ain't making this up. Right here in Matthew 7:28. It said, and it came to pass when Yahushua had ended these sayings, the people were astonished at his doctrine. For he taught them as one having authority and not as scribes. They said they was astonished. That's telling you, that's going from Matthew chapter 5 to the completion of Matthew 7. Everything he dropped, them people say, boy, ain't nobody ever dropped. They said that plenty of times, and they said the scribes, they never taught us like this. They said they ain't never came like this here. That boy said, well, I don't want none of this here. They're too strong. No. I like this here. Some of y'all used to drink in your prime. And y'all just say, give me the bottle. Pop the top. Look how you looking. That's what you want. That's how you were looking. He said, woo, who you telling? Give me some of that yak. I ain't coming back. Huh? That's what she said. He preaching. She like this here, hands in there. He preaching. Lord have mercy. I heard that word. Lord have mercy. I heard that word. She sitting back thinking about that Remy Martin fine champagne cognac right now. Don't you put no Sprite in my yak.
What time they close again?
What time they close? She had the liquor store when they open. I said, I got to get this for later. Somebody, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. I don't drink in the morning. I get it before I go to work. The children drive me crazy. So when I get off, I already got it. I ain't got to stop. I already got it. Look at she like this here. She told me, no, I drunk wine coolers during the week. I would choose around here. I know you did. You look like a nigga old sedated nigga with a wine cooler. You talking trash, drinking a seat. Think she better than a nigga. You want a wine cooler. You know what I'm talking about? She on a wine cooler with a Newport. She don't even light it. What? She don't even light it. She just got it there like she gonna smoke it. Not even a Newport, a Virginia Slim. Come on back to have back a top. Pick it up at verse 9.
They taste like Kool-Aid.
You know you love Kool-Aid. What you like? Red Kool-Aid? You like tropical punch? I like
Grape.
He just said it too.
That's the grape. Grape is my favorite.
You know it, nigga. You bought it.
Grape, and you mix it with that thing that Kool-Aid.
I forgot you used a Kool nigga. I stopped drinking Kool-Aid a long time ago.
Boy, that's whip it up like that.
I had to leave that junk alone. You know what made me leave Kool-Aid alone? I'm like, boy, they don't sell this junk in white neighborhoods like that. I said, I ain't drinking this no more. You know what I'm saying? Because you could go to corner stores in the hood and they got Kool-Aid packs everywhere. You go to guy, you get out of them white folks, there ain't no Kool-Aid packs in here. And they want to see you. You the type of nigga, you ain't even have Kool-Aid, nigga. You have Flavor.
No, I had Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid was number 10.
You know he drunk it. That nigga know. My granddaddy used to eat packs of that Kool-Aid in the house. You hear that nigga? 2-piece fried chicken and Kool-Aid.
Why y'all saying it?
Cause you little ghetto nigga and nigga just
Ghetto.
hood nigga. Round the way, nigga. Only a nigga in the hood gonna be around here like this here talking about a 2-piece fried chicken and some Kool-Aid. No size, no nothing. Just a thigh and a leg and some Kool-Aid.
No, but don't forget the pepper, because you gotta squeeze that pepper juice out.
That's hood. That's hood. That's hood. That's hood. You was at churches. You were at Popeyes. That's what it's
No, churches is where it's at. Churches.
You hear Monte? That's how you know. Because what you be told. You know what I'm saying? Popeyes for the ballers, the ghetto eating churches. We know you were broke.
You right. Shoot, church of chicken.
Nigga couldn't pay me to eat church chicken. I'm talking about, boy, that's like drinking a pint of Nigga, they all the same. Come on with it, though.
I'm going to go to Mexico cooking chicken.
This nigga eat Mexican chicken. I forgot you in Texas.
$1.50
For sure. Nah, we just busting his balls. We already know. That's hood. That's from the hood. You talking about fried chicken and Kool-Aid. Yeah, that's in the hood. Ain't nobody eating fried chicken and Kool-Aid nowhere else but in the hood. That's why we got heart disease and diabetes at the same time.
2-for-1 special.
2-for-1 special. We're gonna kill you niggas quick. The back of chapter 1, verse 9. They shall come all for violence. Their faces shall sup up as the east wind. They shall gather the captivity as the sand. They shall scoff at the kings, and the princes shall be a scorn unto them. They shall deride every stronghold. They shall heap up dust and take it. Well, we already know that because they mock the Lord. That's what he tell you about the deriding, that's ridicule or the mock. Then shall his mind change. He shall pass over and offend, imputing this power unto his God. Are you not from everlasting, O Yahuwah Elohim, Akadash one? We shall not die. O Yahuwah, you have ordained them for judgment, Almighty Elohim, you have established them for correction. You are purer eyes than to behold evil and cannot look on iniquity. Wherefore look you upon them that deal treacherously, and hold your tongue when the wicked devour a man that is more righteous than he. Psalms 22. I'll get you what Psalm 22, what we know in Matthew come from. But sometimes we just want to read it out of script. You can see the gospel play out without even going around there to read. Praise Yahuwah. I'll let Yahuwah's name be esteemed continually. 22:1, if you would. He said, my Elohim, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from helping me and from the words of my roaring? Oh, my Elohim, I cry in the daytime, but you hear not. And in the night season, I am not silent. For you are Kadash, O you that inhabit the praises of Yasharal. Our fathers trusted in you. They trusted in you, and you delivered them. They cried unto you and were delivered. They trusted in you and were not confounded. But I am a worm and no man, a reproach of men, despised of the people. Oh, you thought you. All they that see me, laugh me to scorn. They shoot out the lip, they shake their head, saying, he trusted on Yahuwah that he would deliver him. Let him deliver him, seeing he delighted in him. This is the mocking and the ridicule, right? Come on, swing around here to Matthew 26, 27. Matthew chapter 27. 27 and 38. Abigail, where you going? Oh, buggy back there. Oh. Matthew 27 and 38. And then there were two thieves crucified with him, one on the right hand, another on the left. And saying you, and they that passed by him, reviled him, wagging their heads, and saying, you that destroy the temple and build it in 3 days, save yourself, if you be the son of Elohim. Come down from the stake. Paul, now notice, right? This is how we have to look at this here, right? John chapter 10, right? He told him, indeed it is. We've looked over that before. It definitely is. Because that worm, see, he mentioned that worm, and I didn't mention it, but he's correct on that. You know that worm in that Psalms 22, you know that refers to being scarlet as well. Do y'all remember when we looked at that? Well, let me go ahead and look at it because Ron just mentioned it, and I wasn't going to grab it. But since he mentioned it, I got to go ahead and do it. That crimson scarlet. It's been a little minute, but you got Tolah, right? This is a worm, a scarlet stuff of crimson, dye made from the dried body of a female worm. So when she's ready to give birth, she attaches her body to the trunk of a tree, fixing herself so she'll never leave it again. So like I said, we've looked at that before, and the word is Tolah. And that's Tau, U, Lamad, and Ayin. So you already can see this here, how the shepherd experienced being nailed and brought forth this covenant, or experienced death. Because we know that he was made male and female at the same time. You know that he was hit in the side, which opened up the womb. You know that the dead men shall rise with my dead body, and all the saints resurrected from the dead with him. So when he said, I'm a worm, he was telling you that he was this worm who was going to give birth, spill her blood, which takes you again to that scarlet. Because see, we were talking about this the other day. There's two other places that refer to scarlet. You got one with Tamar and her twins, with that scarlet that was tied around their foot. And she mentioned the other one, I think it was Joshua, with Rahab. Now let me ask y'all this here, because she asked me this the other day. Why was Rahab saved? What is the spiritual significance of Rahab being saved in the book of Joshua? Remember, what was Rahab?
He was a stranger.
She was a harlot. That's right. She died on the tree to bring forth life. Because that's what happens with that worm that's in Psalm 22. She affixed herself to a tree and died so she could have kids. Yahusha affixed himself on a tree and died so that we could be the sons of Elohim. But what's it? Rahab was a harlot. But what is her spiritual significance? She did hear and believe. But what is her significance as this harlot? of all the people that mentioned in Jericho, there's a story about a woman who was a harlot, who heard and believed and was delivered and dwelt in the land for the continuance of her life.
You looking for a story? Man,
That's a correlation.
I was saying the correlation would be the other nations. They can be
that to a certain extent, but in reality, Yasharal is a harlot, a whore. You know what I'm saying? She hears the word, she hides the messengers, or hides the words of the prophets, or hides the words of Yahusha, and therefore she is delivered and is able to be a partaker in the inheritance once again. Because we can't call the nations a whore.
Yeah.
He never called them a whore. But he called Yasharal a whore many a day. Many a day. Because she's a stranger.
Yeah. I say we
made ourselves a whore. We read that in Isaiah 57 last night. Made you a stranger because she's a whore. Bald-headed whore. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. You know what he told you in Ezekiel? He said, you open your feet to everybody that passed by. And he said, you give your gifts to all your lovers, but you don't get nothing in return. He said, so therefore you are contrary. He said, you're a backwards whore.
Well, what made what's the correlation from that and having the word before? That's what threw me.
No, she didn't have the word. But she had heard before they got it. She had heard before they got it.
She did. She got led.
And when they got there, she had already accepted. She had believed on Yahuwah before she even seen the messengers.
As soon as I heard this,
that's why he say those who've heard of the Father, they come unto me. She had already heard. So when the messengers came, I'm jumping on. So those of us who believe in Yahushua, you supposed to already knew some word. So then when he come, I'm jumping on. I'm jumping on. I'm riding. That's why the gospel is more important. Like I told you, I seen a couple niggas a day. Somebody else talking about, you done got woke up, he in the truth, he going hard. You niggas square.
I saw that 2 days ago. And but they be using anything to get a member, dog.
Q, they talking about Q. Q posted something saying that black people shouldn't pay income tax. Oh, they talk Q going hard, Q in the truth. That's how they pay you stupid niggas.
No, but they're trying to
but he ain't even been on that because he was capping on that. That's why comment went off on him. How you a Muslim drinking St. Ives? You know what I'm saying? Like I told you last night, he's a professional actor. They trot them whole niggas out there and have them fuck dance, and these stupid niggas fall for it every time. Because like I told you, when somebody on that word for real, man, boy, they gon' have to walk away from that industry they in, because everything that industry is about runs contrary to the gospel. And they gonna get persecuted, and the people gonna get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? That's just what's gonna happen. Because he can't make them, if you in the worst, you can't make them type of movies that he would make. He can't be in them type of movies. Because what, again, I mentioned it last night. The book told you when it came to Lot that he was vexed with the filthy conduct of the people around him. So how could you dwell in an environment that is known to be defiled and be comfortable dwelling there? It's like, and you truly serve Yahuwah. All it takes is for a nigga to say you a Hebrew Israelite and you niggas run. That's simple. You simple-minded, you's a fool. I ain't moved. So you know they come back and we can't do brothers. We gotta meet brothers where they at and they walk. You niggas simple. Y'all niggas like a dumb hoe in high school. All the nigga gotta do is pull up with a nice car, tell her she look good, give her a couple dollars, you beat her back in. You think she think you love her. You like this stupid hoe. I do this to all the young girls. I'm dead serious, bro. It ain't no different. It ain't no different. You getting played. And these are people who say that they have spiritual wisdom and understanding and knowledge. So how you getting played? How you getting played from a nigga whose logo is the exact thing that he was trying to destroy and mock? Because he worshiped the same Cuban Saturn like you do. That nigga said he was a mother. All that nigga did was just hang with Farrakhan. This nigga talking about he a gangster. There's several West Coast niggas used to bust this nigga upside his head. This nigga got beat up in his chain taken. That nigga ain't do no gangster stuff. He ain't shoot nobody. He ain't fight nobody. He let a nigga punch him in his mouth and take his chain in the height of his power. Cypress Hill got him, and that boy Cam got him. Beat him down. Boy, that nigga was talking trap about Cypress Hill. Cypress Hill caught you on the street, whooped that nigga, took his chain. You know what I'm talking about? Another West Coast rapper named Cam, he was talking trash. Cam caught him in the street, whooped that nigga, took his chain. But you the hardest nigga walking. We so simple. How can you go from the nigga you love to hate to are we there yet? Because he acting, nigga. This nigga was around here talking about on It Was a Good Day, how he smashing hoes, and that was his wife in the video. That was his wife who we were talking about. Come on, man. No, but he was using it like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, in the video, he painted a picture like he macking.
Like he macking. And he said her name. He was already married to her when he did it. So niggas know they flogging. It's entertainment. Come on, man. If a nigga still believes Dr. Dre was that gangster after seeing that world-class wrecking crew photograph, you just a fool.
That nigga look like.
That nigga look like,
Well, Little Rich.
Little Richie. This nigga's frauds, man. Nevertheless, man. You see they mocking the man, right? Drop on down to verse 45. Matthew 27. Don't be no fool, man. You're smarter than that. You're better than that. No, that in track, man. Now from the 6th hour there was darkness over all the land until the 9th hour. And about the 9th hour, Yahushua cried with a loud voice, saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, that is to say, my Elohim, why have you forsaken me? Like I mentioned, right? 2 Corinthians chapter 6 tell you what? That he was made sin who knew no sin. We just read that the man's eyes too pure look upon wickedness. So at this point, Yahushua is fatherless, and all these people don't walk into the field of the fatherless. Trying to take his landmark, trying to take his inheritance. Back to 1 Kings 21. And what you think the beast trying to do? What did the beast say what did the book say the beast gonna set his temple up? Trying to do what? Take his inheritance. Trying to remove the landmark and take the border. Come on, man. That's why you can't be fooled by people, man. These people trying to take something that don't belong to them. That's Yahuwah's land. That ain't yours, nigga. How you gonna take something you ain't made? That man spoke the earth into existence. You just trying to take it. Don't fall for it. I'm telling you what Yahuwah love. That's the truth. Verse 4. 1 Kings 21. And Ahab came into his house, heavy and displeased because of the word which Naboth the Jezreelite had spoken to him. For he said, I will not give you the inheritance of my fathers. He laid him down upon his bed and turned away his face and would eat no bread. But Jezebel, his wife, came to him and said to him, why is your ruach so sad that you eat no bread? Now, I'm going to put this out to y'all right now, man. Because a lot of people say stuff about Jezebel-type women, and they be grossly incorrect. Jezebel was not a man, because we went over this when we were dealing with masculine women. She's not a masculine woman in the sense that most groups teach. She was not trying to usurp authority over the man. She was a wife of a simp. You understand? So she knew that she could influence this nigga to do what she wanted to do. She wasn't loud. You don't read no story about Jezebel running her mouth. Now, of course, Jezebel was a worshiper of Baal. So, of course, she's going to have a problem with the prophets of Yahuwah because the prophets of Yahuwah are testifying against Baal. So, see, Jezebel is representative of who? That whore of Babylon. To make martyrs of the saints because that's what Jezebel did. Jezebel, that's why he said you consider this woman Jezebel to be a prophetess because Jezebel was a prophetess of all. So Jezebel is going to teach lies. But all this other stuff about Jezebel manipulating you and trying to overtake you and all that, she didn't overtake Ahab. She asked Ahab, what you crying for? And then she went and did that unbeknownst to him. He just went along with it. So this is a woman who's the wife of a simp. See, a simp will let a woman do whatever she wants to do, even when he knows she's wrong. So there's a difference. Because how many of y'all hear Bruce call a woman a Jezebel? Nigga call a woman a Jezebel because she asked a question. Nigga call a woman a Jezebel because he want her to submit to him, and that ain't even your wife. And these niggas be on the internet with it. How you gonna tell a nigga to submit to you on the internet? You square bastard you. Niggas be going back and forth, cussing out, disrespecting all manner of women when you could do the number one thing that will drive that woman crazy, and that is to ignore her. What type of grown man is gonna go back and forth? I have one, because I ain't gonna be sitting here arguing no book with no woman. I ain't even gonna tell a good day to you, ma'am. I'm just not talking to her. Matter of fact, I'm not even finna get in a scriptural debate with no woman. See, a lot of dudes call women Jezebel scriptural debating because most of them don't have a husband or don't have a father or don't have somebody who has some wisdom to tell them that that's not the way that they ought to conduct themselves. So they feel like I got to get on here and spread this truth. See, these men ain't stepping up. See, you's a simpleton, baby. I'm going to let you stay away. See, nigga feel like you got to check and straighten everybody on the internet, the lies you tell. It's enough going on in real life to be worried about what a nigga doing on the internet. What I care about what a nigga doing on the internet? Lying to yourself, talking about you waking up people to the truth on Facebook. You just ain't got nothing to do with better with your time. But to get on a free app and argue with niggas from 6 a.m., you know you did it for years. That's how I know the nigga. On the nigga post argue. Am I lying though?
Like, dang, you know words.
I wouldn't know this nigga, and I ain't even get on there arguing. I just said something to somebody. The nigga like, what? I say, hey man, this my phone number. You call my phone. I don't do all that. I don't do all that. All that typing back and forth. I don't do all that.
That's your best friend.
Now I'm in Jacksonville, Florida.
Now in Jacksonville, Florida, farting and telling lies. Farting and telling lies. We ain't gonna tell you about what you did at the out in Mandarin.
Where ain't my friend?
Rolling around on the floor, crying and whatnot. He was tearing up a little bit.
No.
He dropped a wolf tip. Dropped a real nigga tip. Except he ain't a real nigga, so he just dropped a tip. Nah, but I'm just messing with you. But no, seriously though. That's how I know this nigga. Because that nigga will argue. You know what I'm saying? Bro, this man done called my phone on several occasions. I done told you, I've been watching wrestling. Minding my business. Here he come with 4 other niggas on the phone. He trying to get them, he trying to get me to debate with them about something I told him that he didn't know what he was talking about.
He done brought it to him.
He done brought it to him. They done crashed him across his head because he ain't got no grasp on the subject matter. Help! And guess what I did? Died, nigga. Drowned. Called my phone with his foolish. For real though, man.
Once you got your swords and stuff together, then you go out there.
Then you go out there. Learn how to shoot the gun first. He didn't even do that there. He got it. He like this here. He can't control the 22. That nigga jump go. That nigga like this here. You know what to do.
That's 22.
Cap gun. You don't see it with no cap gun. That nigga jump, he gets scared. Oh, I gotta do you like that, boy. That nigga had me on there with a nigga named Tommy. This nigga lost his niggas jackass supremes, nigga. El Grande. You understand? Several different Hebrew niggas. And guess what I had to do? This nigga calling me every day about a lunar Sabbath with the same stupid nigga.
Oh,
And the people they don't care about that nigga name. I could have said his name. He calling me that brother, that proud. Because I'm asking this stupid bastard, just show me where he told you to keep the Sabbath by the moon. See, you gotta read 1 Samuel 20. I say, get off my phone. Nigga, you like to say, nigga, you call me, nigga. One thing about it, I ain't never called a nigga for no argument.
They always say, call the way, let's see what he got to say about it.
That means all you niggas know you stupid. You need to come get your dope. You got to call me and see what I got to say about it. That means you need to come over here to talk because you don't know what you're doing. Y'all niggas in the house trying to cook up your own crack. Don't know what you do.
Ask the wife.
Stop doing that. God,
No, that's what they used to do. No. Y'all was don't try to put that on the boys. I'm gonna have this.
1 Kings 21:6. Doing it. He said unto her, because I spake unto Naboth the Jezreelite, and Gad said unto him, give me your vineyard for money, or else it please you, I will give you another vineyard for it. And he answered, I will not give you my vineyard.
Hey, hush, hush, hush. Sit. Take that chair wherever your mama told you to take it to. And sit down and be quiet. Take that, tuck your lip in. What you crying for? Nobody asked you what you wanted to do. Follow instructions. Get that chair wherever she told you to put that. Where she told you to go.
Then get on over here and sit down.
Yeah. Going in, 14 to 13. You used to be going in.
What's up, cry about?
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, I ain't gonna block nobody, but I'm just not gonna talk to you. I ain't gonna do no block. I ain't never blocked nobody on Facebook in my life except one nigga. But I blocked him on Messenger, some African nigga. Nigga had the gall and audacity to send photographs of his penis. You got it.
Wow.
You got it.
That's
Wow.
a couple years ago.
Yeah, I told you about that. I told him about that. I think I was rolling that with him. We was on the phone. I'm like, this nigga just sucked his penis.
What made him feel like he could see
I don't know.
that?
You would have to ask him that. Because it was, I don't even know the nigga. Unsolicited.
That has never happened to me.
Well, thank the Lord. Nigga, shoot.
What has what?
No, they didn't. No, I was on the phone with him when he did it. That nigga son of message. That nigga said something. What? Shoot, nigga. I'm like, nigga, they be spam pages and all. You don't be knowing that they be real people.
No, ain't no way to swerve.
What I care for niggas the internet? I'm gonna be bent out of shape by the nigga I can't even see. It'd be different if the nigga standing right in front of me and get to meet out. Nigga gotta shoot me a fade. With a nigga on the internet, man, I'm gonna move on about my life. They gonna get bent up with a nigga. I don't even know what this nigga had. I don't even know if it's a real person. Yeah, man, I'm on this nigga. I get a messenger ding. This nigga like, what's going on? Like, nigga, who are you? Next thing you know, this nigga penis just popped. What's up with this nigga?
Enough about that.
What?
This nigga said that was small, so what about this meat?
I know.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. What about this meat? Yo.
I want to go back and never feel like people do that.
I mean, some niggas, it's the internet, nigga. It's weirdos.
Like that. On that
Nigga ain't tried me. Nigga, it's the internet, nigga.
That nigga said, what about this meat?
I know y'all women, so y'all gonna block people. I'm a man. I ain't finna block nobody. I'm a battery dying. I ain't got my dog on charge. Yeah, I forgot that junk to the house. And I thought I added and put it in the bag. We want to get stopped pretty soon, but this battery finna die. I don't know how much percentage I got. I thought it lasted the duration. I got 12%.
You don't want to bet
I know you got a style.
Hold on.
I know you got a style, though.
Nah, you just supposed to be.
No, I got one up there. I'm sure it'd be more perfect.
Nah, I forgot I plugged that joint up the whole time. No, you know, I done seen that earlier. I done plugged that whole up and forgot all about it. I would have to get over. Yeah, shoot. I ain't got no shame. Shoot, nigga, I forgot. Y'all know my time, man. Dead serious, because I walked out to the car and all about that. That's how you know you're getting old.
Got a couple days away.
He'll been on.
I was looking at the eyebrows and
Hey,
Gray hair.
Yeah, sure. I got a season match. And you do line back. Look at that nigga cheese. That nigga cheese. That nigga did me like that the other day. My birthday next week. What you can buy me a gift? Lies you tell. What about you? Buy you a gift for? Nigga, what you what I look like, nigga? One thing is for certain, nigga, you don't have a vagina. So what I'm buying you a gift for?
Brother, listen.
Nigga, hold that nigga to Burger King.
Well, you need a friend. Not a man friend.
Not a man. He got a friend. He got a friend. She right here right now. You better get her to buy you a gift for your birthday. Well, I'm telling you, got the right plan and the wrong man.
You're not gonna show no support on my birthday.
Absolutely not.
Who you are?
What we did? Ah, nigga, I ain't bought none of these niggas nothing for their birthday. These niggas ain't bought nothing for me for my birthday. I ain't looking at these niggas like, bro, you didn't get nothing for my birthday. Nigga, stop it.
That way, my name was using Texas, and you thought you was gonna get down here and get you a good Happy Meal. So you better stop.
Yeah, the way he said, boy.
I'm still, nigga, how you look? A nigga, this nigga talking about I'm sitting because he asked me to eat a hamburger while I'm eating.
Can't hear me. You asked me. I already know you.
Nah, nigga, but you always scoping looking at my plate, nigga.
This is him. This man say he's supposed to get.
This nigga say I'm supposed to get him a birthday gift.
He said you alone if you don't.
Lying bastard, cause my birthday gonna come and go. That nigga ain't gonna get a nigga now.
Oh, you know I'm not giving no gift for your birthday.
I don't want no gift from you, nigga. I don't want no gift. Matter of fact, I'm straight.
I pause on that, but I will give you a gift.
No, nigga, I don't even ask for gifts, nigga. And that nigga will meet you who that day. I'm coming to your front door. Come on, man, I ain't got time. Say, hey, Willie Mays. Come on, man. Verse 7. Jezebel, his wife, said unto him, do you not? Because I'm going to tell you something. How you did that with your birthday? That's what hoes do. Don't do that no more. No, that just hit my head.
How you gonna read the script and then just go?
No,
You asked why you went to the camera boy, but you keep going, everybody in the world.
No, because I let you know that. How you did that, that's what women do, boy. You know my birthday next week.
I would really like that. I would really like to get it. Bro,
Don't do that no more.
come on, we gotta read the script.
I know I got that, but I'm being serious. This is man time. You think I'm being funny. Nah, do that no more. 1 Kings 21 and 7. Don't do that no more. You would just better off saying, hey man, my birthday coming. You know, if y'all can, you know, I like a gift or a party or two. That's how you do that. Don't throw no subtle hints. That's what a nigga old lady do. I sure do like them shoes, baby.
Bro.
Because, boy, show yourself a man. Be strong and show yourself a man. That's how I interrupted. Because I'm telling you what the book say. And what you just did, you didn't show yourself a man. You showed yourself a young, hot whore.
Oh, my.
That's what hot whores do. You a man, boy.
And you might could have got away with doing that with your friend.
You can't get
wrong, man.
grown man. This man just told you he can see gray hairs in my eyebrow. You don't bring that scared business to me?
That's shaky business, bro. That is shaky business.
And then talking about something.
You got to do the Birdman hands, man. Boy, you just
He said the Birdman.
That's what you did, though.
Okay. You gotta get with these real.
First Queens 21:7. You brought that on
Kings, not
yourself.
queens.
I said Kings.
You
bro.
said first
Man,
queen.
look here. The only Queens was what you just did.
Bro, I'm done. I'm done with you. All right, come on.
You done with yourself. You brought this on yourself.
I'm done with you. Bro, I'm done with you.
You brought that on yourself.
I'm done.
We do it because we care. Same pot. First King 21:7. Same pot.
Oh, you got sugar?
You hiding? Mhm. You ain't right. Jezebel, his wife, said unto him, do you now govern the kingdom of Yasharal? Arise and eat bread, and let your heart be merry. I will give you the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreelite. See, he supposed to check her right then. He supposed to check her right then. How you gonna give me that? You can't give me that. So she wrote letters in Ahab's name, sealed them with his seal, sent the letters unto the elders and to the nobles that were in his city, dwelling in the bar. And she wrote in the letter saying, proclaim a fast and set Naboth high among the people, and set 2 men, sons of Belial, before him to bear witness against him, saying, you did blaspheme Elohim and the king, and then carry him out and stone him that he may die. So if they brought 2 sons of Belial, who they would have got? 2 worthless men, 2 sinners, 2 transgressors. So who you think and why they had to go get 2? Because it's got to be established in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses. Let me crank it up a notch because I got a whole lot of other stuff I need to do. So just establishing that you can't take that landmark. I did that for a reason. Come on back over here to the boss. John 8. Oh, Job 16. That's what it was.
Job 16.
I got to move through Job 6 because I only wanted one thing. But then I was like, you know what? I could swing back and bring some other stuff because I have to keep the forefront of my mind that y'all can't go back and ingest all that information. You know what I'm saying? It's too many videos. Don't say it's probably about 13, 1400. That's just not possible. That doesn't mean it's actually like 30 because you got some that got parts. Either way it go, there's no way in the world. There's no way in the world. And I only know that because they tell you that on the YouTube channel. So it's like 1.2 thousand. There's no way. There's no way. Excuse me. Ain't no way. Verse 9, right? He said, he tear me in his wrath who hate me. He gnashed upon me with his teeth. Enemy sharpened his eyes upon me. See, that goes to mocking, right? They gaped upon me with their mouth. They smit me upon the cheek reproachfully. Then they slapped Yahushua in the mouth. They have gathered themselves together against me. Listen what it said. Elohim have delivered me to the ungodly and turned me over into the hands of the wicked, who are making what? A fatherless son. I was at ease. He's broken me asunder. He's also taken me by my neck and shaken me to pieces and set me up for his mark. Let's see what that says with mark. You know, give praise to Yahuwah for understanding, man. You know, give thanks to Elohim in the name of Yahushua, because where would we be without good understanding? We'd be men most miserable, pining away in iniquity and death. Now, mark is matarah. Listen what it says. You got meme, you got tet, you got rosh, and you got hey. It means a target or a mark or a figure for chastisement. What did Psalms 53 tell you? The chastisement of his peace was upon us. What did I just tell you the other day? Because he was talking about, you know, all right, he mentioned this here. I'm going to see what y'all remember. I'm going to ask y'all too because I know you don't know, but I want to see what you're going to say. To see, because, see, the reason why I do this for a reason, because I used to do them like this here too when their knowledge base wasn't that deep. You may, from context clues or other things you done heard, actually be able to figure it out, and you're not giving yourself credit to be able to figure it out because you weren't about being incorrect. I'm not concerned with you being incorrect. I'm trying to get your mind moving for you to sit back and focus because you very well made your understanding could be a lot better than you give yourself credit for. So, and Deuteronomy 23, it tells you that a bastard would not enter into the body of Yahuwah. Do you know what would make you a bastard according to the word? What about you, Monica? You know what would make you a pastor? And so when you take both of what y'all said, you pretty much have the answer. Because you saying you won't accept him. You saying you're not a son. You know what would cause you not to accept him? Because you won't take his chastisement. Because you won't allow him to correct you, which means you would be a bastard and not a son. Because that's what it's saying in Hebrews 12, that no son is without chastisement. Every son has to be chastened by him, and then he will receive it. If you be without chastening, then you're not a son, but you're a bastard. Because like you said, if you won't let him in your heart, it's because you won't humble yourself to his direction. Which means that she just stated you're not a son. That's why your understanding of it, because you could just look at it on a natural sense. You could think about it in that way. How you gonna say that's your daddy? You don't listen to him. You got to be a bastard. You know what I'm saying? You ain't no son of mine. Ain't no son of mine gonna come in my house and do what I tell it. Because what you gonna do? If you had a child that wouldn't do what you said, what you gonna do with it? See, I ain't talking about a small child. We talking about a rusty nigga. 14, 15, 16 years old. What you gonna do with a boy in your house? He won't listen to what you say. You gonna put him out. You can't live here. You come in the house, he's selling drugs out the window, bringing random women in the house, taking your car without asking, eat your leftovers. Oh, that's what you were doing. You can drive 22. No wonder you can't ride a bicycle. Take it in. Oh. You were sneaking out the window?
That's my driver.
We know you were coming out the window. We know Lil Muffin stole a car one time. Didn't you, Lil Muffin? Lil Muffin was a car thief. Y'all ain't look at that. Could y'all believe that Lil Muffin was a car thief? Could you believe that face is the face of a car thief? Clearly, she caught a stole the car to go hang with you. Yeah, I was in prison. Yeah. You know, I get a letter. I get a letter. They call me in to get a letter. I read the letter. I'm up around here stealing cars.
Like too many cops.
Too many cops. She ain't steal the car. She ain't slacking. She done snuck the keys out the room. Jumped in the house. Jumped in the car to go hang out and party. Hang my foot in your behind. That's what we gonna do. See, look at that face is just, you just don't say that that's the face of a car thief. We know you ain't steal no cars, nigga. You was commandeering it everywhere you went. Tom and Jerry. You don't know who Tom and Jerry is? Who Tom and Jerry is? No, nigga. Left and right. Nigga, pit pat. You remember who did that?
You got look at that. You got a good name, but on the third and on.
You proud of that, ain't you?
That nigga's getting high.
You ain't buying no shirt. Nigga, you ain't had no money.
And your mama.
That nigga was out there drinking. And your mama talking about on that lean.
We're drinking NyQuil, man.
That good boy, that good man. Y'all know say good man.
That nigga was on Robitussin. You know what it is, nigga. We just saying you wasn't on it.
Oh, I was.
How much down for?
I paid 15 for the whole cup like that.
That nigga said it was delicious.
You was drinking free mix? I was drinking.
That nigga's a broke nigga.
You drinking free mix?
But what the real deal?
Oh yeah, that was free mix. Yeah, that nigga was drinking Kool-Aid.
I know he was.
You probably free mix.
I'm gonna leave you alone.
And sometimes
Rip. We gonna leave you alone. He ain't talking about all the extra. What he talking about is you was drinking NyQuil, Robitussin, and grape Kool-Aid. So what he's saying is if you have promethazine, you actually got a whole bottle. You was buying a cup from a nigga, so you don't know what you was drinking.
Right. That's like buying a pure old blade.
You don't know what you was
$10. You don't know what you're smoking. Yes. Yes.
Verse 13, Job 16.
Verse 13.
We're trying to give you some games so you stop getting got. I ain't talking about with that. I'm talking about in life in general. Because he get got a lot. Because he'll drop money on something and he'll overpay. Because he don't know what he buying. His archers compass me round about. He cleave my reins asunder and do not spare. He pour out my gall upon the ground. He break me with the breach upon breach. He run upon me like a giant. I sew sackcloth upon my skin and defile my horn in the dust. My face is foul with weeping, and on my eyelids is the shadow of death. So when he said, not for any injustice in my hands, also my prayer is pure. O earth, cover not my blood, that my cry have no place. And also now, behold, my witness is in heaven, and my record is on high. So who is the witness in heaven? It would be his father. Who is the record on high? It'll be that Ruach. What did he tell you in 1 John? There's three that bear witness in heaven. The Father, the Son, and the Ruach HaKodesh. And all these three agree as one. See, I have to be on him, man, because he got to do better. That's why I be on. He got to do better.
Yeah, when you say let my cry have no place, that's what you should pray.
What verse?
18.
Oh, when he say let the earth, now that's telling you, that's taking you back to when he said that how Abel's blood cried out to the ground. So he's saying don't cover my blood, because if you cover the blood up, then the blood can't cry out. So it's a parallel to Abel. Because remember, it said Yahushua was heard in that he feared. So if Abel's blood spoke to Yahuwah from the ground, then you know Yahushua's blood spoke to Yahuwah from the ground. Come on back to John. Is that lit? You okay? Let me see. Oh, that's very nice. Where are we at in John 18? I'm in John 8, excuse me. I'm in verse 17. So that's why we was looking at all that. And thank you. All that led to what? Him being crucified. Because that's what the scripture was witnessing to. Let's look at verse 20. Or 19, I should say. Then they said unto him, where is your Abba? Yahushua answered, you yet neither know me nor my Abba. If you had known me, you should have known my Abba also. These words spake Yahushua in the treasury as he taught in the temple. No man laid his hands on him, for his hour was not yet come. And said Yahushua again unto them. You know, also now as I think about it, because it just said at the temple. You know, I've been really pissed off with these wicked no-good bastards trying to compare Yahushua flipping them tables over in that temple to what these niggas been out here doing in the street.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That is very disrespectful. Now, y'all should know, why did Yahushua flip them tables over and whoop them people in that temple? But that's not the exact reason. What's this? Let me put it this way. Why were those people up there buying and selling? Why were they selling in the temple to begin with? It was a feast day. And on that feast day, he said, if you're coming from a long journey, you can do what? You could take whatever you were going to sacrifice, you could turn it into money, and you could bring it with you. So he also fulfilling what's written in Jeremiah when he said, you done turn my father's house into a den of thieves. See, again, he can whoop them. See, they looking at it like it was some injustice. Idiotic nigga, that's his house. That's what niggas missing. That temple, that's Yahushua's house. How would you feel if somebody was defiling your house? So you mean to tell me if it was some niggas just randomly just walked in your house and just squatted and took a dump on the floor? Smoking cigarettes, dropping ashes everywhere, burning holes in your couch. You gonna be cool with that? So what would you do? Well, that's akin to him. You in here working unrighteousness in my house. Because number one, you ain't supposed to be buying and selling in the house of Yahuwah to begin with. To begin with. And not only, see, people talk about him flipping over tables. He actually whooped them people. He got cords and he whooped them people. He didn't do it out of, no, man, you all got me bent, bro. Because what did he say? Whatever the Father's is, it belongs to who? The Son. You're not going to come in here and defile my house. This is my house. See that stuff out there in Minneapolis, Houston, all that? See, that's not your house. That's not your house. That was Yahushua's house. Why you think they never grabbed him when he was in the temple? You can't do that. Remember, we was looking at with Adonijah. He didn't want to let go of the, and Joe, they didn't want to let go of the horns of the altar. Because they weren't supposed to kill nobody in the house of Yahuwah. When Joab said, you're going to have to kill me here, he said, well, so be it then. Because they want to take you outside the house. This not the place for that. It's hollow ground. Man, that junk, that's shameful. And so many brews who was stamping it ought to be kicked dead in their front teeth and slapped right upside the back of their head. Because that's a complete, total lack of understanding. You don't defile the house of Yahuwah. What's one of the things that pissed him off when you're dealing with your forefathers? Because they around there and they had idols set up in the house of Yahuwah. Where certain kings had to come through and take that stuff from up out of there. They were bringing punks in there tricking. When he go to talk about sodomites in that text, that's talking about male temple prostitutes. They were bringing men and committing sodomy in the house of Yahuwah and worshiping false deities. That's what they was in there doing. That's what they were in there doing. Your people, our people, that's what they was in there doing. See, they don't let her have that conversation. Guess what? That's why the law tell you don't bring the price of a dog or a whore in there. Because some people used to bring whores in there and be tricking with hoes in there. You know what Eli was doing, his sons were doing, what they were doing. Knock your hole down in the house of Yahuwah. But see, we don't like to talk about that. That just lets you know the stuff that ain't supposed to. Come on, man. That man said you ought to know how to behave yourself in the house of Elohim. You don't come in the house of Elohim selling pigeons and doves. It's a time and a place for all that. And this ain't the time nor the place. So now I got to whoop you. Straight up. But see, I'm mentioning that to y'all because we supposed to have that understanding. So when you see somebody say that, you should be like, you know what? He's stupid. I'll make sure I don't talk to him. He said he believed in Yahuwah. That boy ain't got the brain y'all gave him. He ain't got it. Let's continue. Then said Yahushua, get unto them, I go my way, and you shall seek me, and you shall die in your sins. Whither I go, you cannot come. Then said the Yahudim, what, will he kill himself because he said, whither I go, you cannot come? He said unto them, you are from beneath, I am from above. You are of this world. I said, therefore, unto you, you shall die in your sins. If you believe that I am he, you shall die in your sins. And they said unto him, who are you? Yahushua said unto them, even the same that I said unto you from the beginning. I have many things to say and judge of you, but he that sent me is true, and I speak to the world those things which I have heard of him. Now, verse 24. In verse 24, what stands out to y'all in verse 24? I said therefore unto you that you shall die in your sins. If you believe not that I am he, you shall die in your sins. What stands out here? Silence. Thank you. The last part. Now look at that there with that I am he. What do y'all see with that I am he if you're reading it straight out the book versus on your app? Because it might not show that to you on your app. Well, what does that he look like? It's slanted. That means it's in italics. In italics, what does that mean? Huh?
That mean it ain't there.
That means it ain't there. That I am.
You don't believe in Yahuwah.
That's what he just told you. Listen to it. This is what it was saying. I said, therefore, unto you that you shall die in your sins if you believe not that I am. Now let's go to where that's at in the text. Exodus chapter 3. See, they had to add that to throw you off because they didn't want you to realize that he had just told them people that he was God. Because remember what it said in Matthew 9, who else besides Elohim have power to forgive sins? And he said that you may know that the Son of Man have power on the earth to forgive sins. I said this. He said it was easier for me to say, take up your bed and walk, or your sins be forgiven. But if you know that I got the power to do it, I said what I said. Now take up your bed and walk. Now that's another place we know John 8, he said what? Before Abraham was, he what? I am. Play with it. Don't do that. Because it's square. Do that line. Just play it out. Come up with a new catchphrase. You do that a lot too. Who told you that catchphrase was fresh? You've been doing that for about 3-4 years now.
It's all right, bro. I just told him he can't do it at the land.
Yeah, I gotta, cause see, I keep forgetting. Cause I have to say Bed Meadows Road.
He been using Hooters at the land forever.
Indeed.
It's over.
It's over. It's
It's
gone. Yeah, yes.
no pressure it up, but I just told him.
It's happening. It's happening.
He gonna try to pressure it up.
No, but I didn't say Hooters on Bay Meadow, but it's happening. Because the landing is central location. Don't talk about the landing. Brandon gonna have flashbacks when he will pop, lock, and drop it. I love the landing. Bro, this thing, I wouldn't even want this thing to my life, the landing. This thing doing the robot. Nigga, it's 20.
That's all you gotta get a little climate there, bro.
That nigga really will pop locking though. I say this nigga must think this making for beats. You like the pop lock, don't you?
Yeah, I ain't did it today, bro.
You did it last night, nigga.
Why you ain't call him a Dunkin' Donuts?
Don't it up. Get it, man. It's how he easy, man. I've been messing with you. It said, Yahuwah said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people, which are in Mizraim. I've heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters, for I know their sorrows. I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians and to bring them up out of the land unto the good land, a large unto a land full of milk and honey, unto the place of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the sons of Yasharal is come unto me. I've also seen the oppression where the Egyptians oppressed them. Come now, therefore, and I will send you unto Pharaoh, that you might bring forth my people, the sons of Yasharal, out of Mizraim. Moses said unto Elohim, who am I that I should go unto Pharaoh, that I should bring forth the sons of Yasharal out of Mizraim? He said, certainly I will be with you, and this shall be a token unto you that I have sent you. When you brought forth the people out of Egypt, you shall serve Elohim upon this mountain. Moses said unto Elohim, behold, when I come to the sons of Yasharal, and you shall say unto them, the Elohim of your fathers has sent me unto you, and they shall say, what is his name? What shall I say unto them? Elohim said unto Moses, I am that I am. He said, thus shall you say unto the sons of Yasharal, I am have sent me unto you. Now y'all know what I am means? You know the word for it? That and the Ashar. See, they add their Ashar because of this. Because they know most of y'all not going to take the time to actually learn what it says. This is what it says. It says, Ahaya, Amar. Amar means said. So when they say Ahaya, Ashar, they're just saying, I am said, I am. But it's Ahaya. And of course, you should know it means to come to pass, to exist, to arise, to establish, to abide, to be done, to be finished, to be gone, to be brought, for self-existence and self-sustaining for the most part. Hey, Yod, hey, and go. Indeed.
It's a verb. It's a verb.
It's a verb. It's definitely a verb.
Y'all seen back in the day,
I know, because GOCC is the only group that uses that name. But we're not concerned with that. He's talking about phonetically, according to the language. That's not a name. It's not even a title. It's an action. It's a verb. So when he was saying, tell them I am that I am, tell them I exist. Tell them I have established. That's what he was telling them to tell them.
Not call them that.
Anybody else? He say, behold Yahusha in his greatness. That's right, Sean. They ain't taking the time. That's it. It's a title. Let's say it's an action. So when Yahusha tell you, if you don't believe that I exist, I am established, you will die in your sins. That's what he was telling them. When he was telling them, if you don't believe, before Abraham was, I am. Before Abraham was, I existed. That's what he was telling them. I existed and I was established. This goes back to what we looked at earlier, right? My Father bear witness of me. My witness is in heaven and my record is on high. This is not about dealing with GOCC. I'm not concerned with it. I'm not concerned with anybody who call him a shy or shy. I don't care about that. That's irrelevant to me. It's too many niggas who waste too much time arguing with niggas about names and titles. That's what you want to call them that. At the end of the day, they not wrong. They just not saying his name. They call the man a high. They saying he exists and he established. Where's the error?
No.
So yeah, that's just a waste of time. That's nitpicking. We got bigger fish to fry. We know the man named you. Who you can read in the text? He say call him by his name. Nah. Clear as day. You know what I'm saying? That's another conversation for another time. You know what I'm saying? But look at this here, right? He got behold, or you can look at behold the works of the man with the raised arms. Because that man, that worm, had affixed itself to that tree to give birth. So that you can have an inheritance. Because now you're no longer a stranger and a sojourner. You are a son with full rights to inheritance. Because you got to understand, son, who was the inheritance of Abraham given to? To his son. And then Isaac gave it to his son. See, that's what it's about. That's why the book tells you in Proverbs that we dealt with a couple months back, right? A good man leaves an inheritance to his son's son. And remember, we looked at that, right? And it was dealing with who? Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, which is dealing with the father leaving the inheritance to Yahusha, who leaves the inheritance to us. Because that's why you're a stranger and a sojourner. That's why we're going to go back and look at the inheritances in Judah specifically and not the other tribes. Come over here to Yahusha, son of Nun, chapter 18. I was looking right at it in Yahusha, son of Nun, 18 last night, and it hit my mind last night, and that's what I wanted. And I hate when I do that.
18.
Chapter 18.
All right.
Little buggy. 18 and 1. Grandma, stop it. Nobody else gonna try it. They ain't bad. You want some kale?
What is that?
I just told you.
Oh, the name of this kale?
You know what kale is. Lord have mercy. You eat it like a white woman.
Hey, boy.
No, I said how she eat it. She eat
stuff like weed.
That nigga said white. You see that? That nigga that white. You know, we used to eat seaweed. Nell used to buy seaweed. We used to smash that seaweed too. That's over here. That's over good. Nah, seaweed. We know you wouldn't buy it, nigga.
No, I probably would if this is my sauce. Yeah.
That defeats the purpose.
Yeah,
But I'm surprised you don't know what kale is, bro. It's like spinach, nigga. Greens, nigga.
Well, I like spinach. Cabbage is my favorite to be exact.
Look like a nigga like purple cabbage. Go ahead, sir. And the whole congregation of the sons of Yasharal assembled together at Shiloh. Now we want to talk about what y'all know about Shiloh. What you know about Shiloh? Y'all know about Shiloh? Who don't know about Shiloh? You know about Shiloh, boy? You serious? See, that's why I told you was unskilled. No, I'm fine if you. That's okay. See, I'm dealing with him because Stanley know why I'm doing it. Because that man stood in your living room and said that he was a skilled man in the word. So he's supposed to know what Shiloh is. So shouldn't Shiloh. Who knows what Shiloh means? place of rest. Shiloh was the place where the temple was to begin with. That's where the Ark of the Covenant dwelt. This is city in Ephraim. This is the place where Jeremiah told him that he was going to make. That's right. That's right. See, that's a different Shiloh right there, Sean. That's a different Shiloh. Because you're going to have a different definition for Shiloh in there. No, it's in Ephraim. No, Sean was mentioning Genesis 49. Until Shiloh comes. And that's the same word you see it in English, but it's a different Hebrew word in Genesis 49, if I'm not mistaken. Let me make sure on that I ain't telling you nothing. I don't want to take this, so I ain't telling you nothing. Some of y'all went to Shiloh. No, it's the same thing. See, that Shiloh, it means he who it is and that which belongs to him, or a descriptive term for Mashiach. So we dealt with that before. It's a different word. But Shiloh is where and I think Jeremiah 26, he told them that he would make that Yahuwah would make the temple of Yahuwah as unto Shiloh. And what did the people want to do? They wanted to kill him. Now Shiloh means place of rest. You got Sean, Yad, Lamad, and Hay. Now, when you look at Shiloh as place of rest, and behold, the work of the shepherd consumes. Look, the work of Yahushua consumes. Well, how do you get rest? Remember, what does Sabbath mean by definition? To cease and desist. What did we read last night in Hebrews chapter 4? That you ought to cease from your own works, like what? Elohim did from his. So if you want to enter into the place of rest, you're going to have to be consumed. I mean, you're going to have to consume the flesh. You're going to have to consume the lust of the eyes. You're going to have to consume the pride of life. And you're going to have to be born again, or you will get no rest. That's why he said there's no what? Ain't no rest for the wicked. Play with it. Why you think all these black folks in America all uptight? We can't get no peace. They kill him. They just killed a nigga in Atlanta last night.
Yeah, I seen that.
So did shot a nigga in his back at a Wendy's drive-thru.
They say he was sleeping in the car.
He was.
He was sleeping in the car.
He was sleeping in the car. They came up on him, put the hammers on him. Then they tried to tase him. The other guy say, "Screw it, tase him." He up in fire. Shot him in the back. One thing for certain, two things for sure. If you a police officer and the nigga ain't up no fire on you, and you can see his back, put your gun back in the holster and get on your horse. Yeah, don't get on your horse. Now, if he get boxed you up and you feel like I need to get this fire to get him up off me, as a man, I understand. There's plenty of niggas in the hood that pull their fire to get a nigga up off.
You can't take that. Well, you got a lot of stuff, bro. That's your last resort.
In the street, you done already said you protect and serve, and so if the nigga done mean you out.
Well, no, I can't, but I know that. No, I know like legally, the police job is not to protect and serve. That's a lie. When you sit back and you understand maritime law and what their job is, they're assets catchers. When I say assets meaning monetary, their job is to not protect and serve. Their job is to enforce monetary law. That's what their job is. That's it. Their job is not to protect and serve the community. One of the biggest lies that are told in this country.
A lot of them police officers are trained in martial arts.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
Yeah, that's why I told me.
Your uncle lied to you.
Yeah, my uncle was a police officer.
My daddy was a police officer. My daddy was a police officer. Nigga, KSO ain't training to get no martial arts, nigga.
No, hand combat, basic takedown.
Nigga, that's the military.
Nah, that ain't police training.
That's not police training, cuz.
Why them niggas be itching for the fire?
Straight up.
You know how to fight. It's no sport.
If I know martial arts, I ain't never got to pull my fire.
Especially on an unarmed man.
No, they teach them hand-to-hand. They don't teach them martial arts. No, they don't know how to fight. Because them niggas man, them niggas be fat and sloppy and be passing physical tests.
No, so my uncle, he was a police officer. They teach them
Man, my daddy was JSO. That man was sloppy as day. No, because they still have to take a physical fitness test. They still have to take a physical fitness test. The only thing that they changed in my lifetime is they made it to where you couldn't be a high school graduate, that you had to have a college degree to be a police officer in Jacksonville. Credit check, yeah.
But you know, Chicago, you can be a hot.
Why you need a good asset?
I mean, because honestly, the asset is worth more dead than it is alive. The money they can get off the bond, aka your birth certificate, is higher if I kill you than keeping you alive. But that's a different type of law. That's a different type of law.
But that makes sense, though. That's why everybody else. It ain't a big deal.
Yeah, and our bonds are a tad bit higher than theirs, than Caucasians, only because they anticipate making more money off of Caucasians through the duration of his life than they have banking black men. So they figure, you know what, we cash you in, get a little bit more money, and
That's why I paid to have.
indeed, because a lot of situations. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, and this ain't saying that you need to behave so the police don't shoot you, but wisdom will get you out of a lot of stupid situations. And a lot of niggas interact with the police and don't use no wisdom. Now the book already tell you, Yahusha already told you, agree with your adversary quickly while you be in the way with him, lest he deliver you to the officer and the officer deliver you to the judge, and then you won't get out till you pay your last nickel. So Yahusha had already told you how to deal with these people. You understand? When they came to him talking about paying taxes, what did he say to Peter when they came? When Peter told him, "Yeah, we pay taxes." What Yahusha told him? No, before that, he said, "What did he tell him? Who know what Yahusha told Peter?" Yeah, he said, "Who they take tribute of? Children or strangers?" He said, "Strangers." He said, "Then the children are free." He's like, "Peter, what you doing? We sons, we free. We don't pay them people." He said, "But nevertheless, to not offend them, go down here to this fish. This fish gonna have a mic for you and me." See, that's wisdom. That's what I know he can look at me in the face. Nigga, I ain't gotta pay you no tribute money. That's not wisdom. It's gonna cause conflict, strife, and contention. Now I gotta exercise my power to kill all these people because he got the power to do that. See, you don't. And I'm not gonna do that. Because notice he said not to offend them. See, that's wisdom. That's wisdom. See, we don't exercise wisdom. See, the first thing we do is we throw a temper tantrum like a hoe. Are you bothering me? Man ain't got no business looking no man in the face telling him no junk like that. Why you messing with me? Man, look here, man. That cracker is terrified of you. And you know why he terrified of you just on a simple level? Because he don't know what you got on your mind. All he know is, I got some booty to the house. I got some kids I want to see. I want to go back home to them. Don't get it twisted. And some of them white folks on the police forces, boy, they go nigga hunting every time they clock in. Don't get it twisted. But see, the thing is, see, we are so untrained as men that you don't know how to avoid stupid stuff. You don't even got to be with the police. Niggas get into stuff with other niggas because you ain't got no wisdom to know how to avoid negative situations. That's what I've been telling you for years. You a hothead. See, nigga, bust your brains. Because see, like I told you the other day, you want to fight. These niggas trying to kill you. Ain't nobody finna fight you. And it ain't because they no coward. I ain't got no time to tussle with you. I'm going to go ahead and drop these 45 caliber slugs in your chest and send you to the morgue. Fight that. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. And then some of them same niggas who hit you with that 4-5 to your chest or hit you with these knuckles in your mouth. It just depends on what day you catch. Because today I like fight. Today I don't feel like fighting. And the police, he always feel like you. So if you come into that and you know that that's what's on their mind, you're supposed to have more wisdom so to be able to go into the house. But see, again, this is not to say that they justify in shooting you if you act stupid. But if you know you acting stupid, then you know what's going to happen. Because what does the book of Proverbs tell? See, we talking about faith. See, what does the book of Proverbs tell us? A soft answer turns away wrath. You understand? See, people outside the house, I would expect them to snap on the police when they come fooling with them. I would expect them to do that. I don't expect nothing less. But somebody in the word who's supposed to have wisdom and understanding, I don't expect them to behave that way. Because you're supposed to be wise as a what? And harmless as a what? So how you know the word and you wise as nothing? You don't have to do all that. I ain't finna get bucked with this man. I can let him know I'm not scared of him. Because I've definitely been pulled up by that. I'm not scared of you, cuz. I hope you don't think you put no fear in my heart, because I'm not concerned with you. You walk up to this door, my license, registration, and insurance is already out the window before you get up, because I don't want to talk to you. It's nothing personal. I have no desire to converse with you. Do your job. If you're going to write a ticket, then so be it. I'll pay it. Same way they pull me over Uber, can we search your car? No, you cannot. Why not? Because it's mine. I don't have to. I don't need a reason. But if it's not that, I can have you out here all night. I say, I'll Uber, man. I don't go home till 4 o'clock anyway. I got time. But what's the problem? I don't want you to search my car. I don't need to give you a reason. See, that's the thing. I'm not going to go back and forth with him catching an attitude. I'm just going to let him know. I'm a man. I don't need to give you a reason why I don't want you to search my car. Saying no is sufficient. And that's it. Well, I'm going to go get the dog. Well, go get it then. Well, sit right here. Why ain't nothing wrong with my sitter, my nigga? I'm just going ahead and get on YouTube and watch me a video or two, and you do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? It's not the point of it being easier. It's the point that you asked. You asked me, can I search your car? And I politely declined. Straight up. I ain't saying, no, you can't search my car. Right? I said, no, you can't search my car. Why not? Because I legally don't have to allow you to, and I would prefer not to. So that's about it. That's all I got. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'll go get the dog. Well, go get the dog then. Because he's doing that because he ran my name, so he sees my criminal record. So I already know why you asking. So I take that as disrespect. So no, you can't do it. But then I want you to make a jackass out yourself on top of that. Because see, this is funny to me. Like I said, I'm gonna be out here till 4 o'clock in the morning anyway. I'm out here. You understand? So guess what he did? He went and got the dog. He said the dog alert. There's no way for me to prove if the dog alerted or not. That dog didn't alert. You lying. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead and search it. You know what this stupid bastard came to me with? A sandwich back to me. What is this seed? I say, dummy, that's a sandwich. He opened it. Ew, it does smell like turkey and cheese. Don't you feel like a stupid idiot? You dummy. You done wasted all your time. You could have been somewhere wasting time burning the clock, eating donuts, drinking coffee. Instead, you around here fooling with me. And now look at you. So guess what he want to do? Write a ticket because he mad. You mad at me because I don't want you to search my car that I'm legally not inclined to allow you to do. It's not even the point. It's the point of you're not going to intimidate me as a man to do something that I don't want to do, nor am I going to go back and forth with you about it. I'm not. I told you straight up, no. I don't care if you do it. Why not? I don't need to give you a reason why not. The last time I checked, my name on that registration. Period. I don't have to let you do nothing. I didn't argue with him. I ain't going forth with him because there's nothing in the car. But since you so pressed, I'm going to make you feel like a jackass. Because like I said, I'm going to be here till 4 o'clock in the morning anyway. It is 12:30. I got 3 more hours. Don't bother me none, because that's how he tried to play me. Well, I could have you out here all night. Well, shoot, I was going to be out here all night anyway. He didn't know what to do. I'm like, nigga, you holding me up from a trip. Trying to get this money, man. You playing games. But I do that because I'm not scared of you. One thing I'm going to let them white folks know, I'm not scared of you. Don't put no fear in my heart. Ain't going to. Come on, Joshua. But we know, though, you love Mr. Charlie because you said you love Jerry Jones. Now, don't put your hand on your forehead. You did say you love Jerry Jones. You said you met him when you was younger. He's a good man. I feel like that lady. I feel like that lady on Rosewood, nigga. She talking about that's a good white man if there ever was such a thing. In America, in authority, what he done?
This nigga said blacks in Dallas.
Boy, you sound like a Democrat.
Boy, I'm about to say, boy. You sound like a bootlicker, son.
Bootlicker? Mr. Charlie, what you need me to do, sir?
You sound like a bootlicker trustee, dog. Warden's been good to us.
Yeah, see, and just so y'all know, when we talk about that, man, we talking about those in authority. I ain't never met one in authority that you can say is good. And why would they be good? Their inclination is to take care of their own.
Yeah, I ain't never met one that.
And not in authority.
Only one that's good be the one equal to you.
Yeah, that ain't in no authority. That's everyday people. Everyday white folks, but a lot of them don't really look at you like that unless they from in the country. And they were raised to hate black people. Yeah. Everyday white folks look at you like, shoot, you're Brandon. No, some of them look at you, you're Brandon. Straight up. I know plenty.
If you was blind, you wouldn't know that was crackers.
Period, bro. They're not on that. Regular people, bro. They don't look at you like that. That junk comes from where they was raised and the authority that they have. Because once they get authority, that's drilled in their head to look down on you. That's drilled in their head that you treat these people in a particular type of way.
Like when they make a regular cracker in slavery time, they make a regular cracker like an overseer.
He don't treat them.
He teach them they not the same as you no more. You might be working with them, but now
you better than them.
Now you part of me.
And you treat him like this and you treat him like that and you do him like this. That's not. Let me tell you something. Everything is a learned behavior. Nobody slides out the womb thinking any particular type of way. You're only thought in the way that you're taught. If you're a young man and your daddy was a Rolling Stone, if you would, then that's what he gonna teach you, and you're gonna grow up and be a man whore. You know what I'm saying? If your mama's a whore, that's what she gonna teach her daughter. She gonna grow up and be a hoe. If your people teach you to sell drugs, that's what you're gonna go up and do. If your daddy's a businessman and he teach you business, that's what you're gonna be. If your daddy's a farmer, he gonna teach you farming. If your daddy is hateful in the heart, that's what he gonna teach you. Because come on, man, you sit there, children don't know nothing. They only know what you see, what they see, and what they're taught. Come on, man, ain't none of us grow up and was taught about Yahuwah. So you ain't know nothing about no righteousness. You had to be taught that. They grow up, they know about Yahuwah from the day they were born. So that's the difference. They don't know nothing about Christmas and no Halloween and no New Year's and all that other stuff, Easter bunnies and tooth fairies. They're not taught that. All of us grew up with all of that.
Hey.
All of us grew up with all of that. Now, did we come out the womb talking about a tooth fairy gonna give me a tooth when my tooth fall out? No, but people taught you that. So it's no different. With white folks and their kids, they hate you because that's what they taught them. If they people didn't teach them that, they're not gonna know that.
That's how you know that he's all white man. That's how he's so.
That's just being honest, knowing human behavior. You have to put aside preconceived notions and thoughts and deal with human behavior. A person can only do what they're taught and what they see. If you see bigotry, racism, then that's what you're going to do. It's not intrinsic. The only thing intrinsic in man is sin because of the flesh. Period. Because he said he made man out upright, but man sought out many inventions. So the flesh seeks out to do things contrary, but that's not how you made. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day. And that's just being honest. People don't like to hear that because that doesn't fit narratives. See, people have narratives. Narratives are used to push agendas. Agendas are implemented to exercise control mentally and physically and emotionally over whoever the narrative was crafted for. So you have to have wisdom to know the difference. I can't be walking around here, I hate all these people. You know what I'm saying? No, I hate people who behave like this. See, notice I tell you this here. I don't dislike it's only a few people on the earth that I may dislike. I really don't dislike them. I just dislike your ways. So you have to know the difference. Because sometimes a person's ways is not always indicative of who they are. They just don't know no better. They ain't been shown no better. When you can understand the difference between a person and their ways, you can have more compassion and mercy on them. You don't understand the difference, then that's when you're rigid, unforgiving, unmerciful, uncompassionate, and Yahuwah will reject you because mercy rejoices against judgment.
I agree.
Verse 2. Well, verse 1. And the whole congregation of the sons of Yasharal assembled together at Shiloh and set up the tabernacle of the congregation there, and the land was subdued before them. And there remained among the sons of Yasharal 7 tribes, which had not received their inheritance. Yahushua said unto the sons of Yasharal, how long slack you go to possess the land, which Yahuwah your Elohim of your fathers have given you? Give out from among you 3 men for each tribe, and I will send them. And they shall rise and go through the land and describe it according to the inheritance, and they shall come again to me. And they shall divide it into 7 parts. Yehudah shall abide in their coast in the south, and the house of Joseph shall abide on their coast in the north. And you therefore describe the land into 7 parts, and bring the description hither to me, that I may cast lots for you before Yahuwah your Elohim. So notice that's when they went to walk the land to describe it. Let me get you that word describe. I'm going to get us up off here in a second. Remember, that's katab. That's to write, to decree, or to be recorded. So he said to write about the land. Come over here to, where is it? Just a few cities. Come over here to chapter 15, if you would. Mari. That's a little long. We ain't get over that tonight. What are you talking about?
Oh, listen. How long you been in Jacksonville? How long you been in Jacksonville?
Come over here to 15 and 20. Josh Yahushua son of Nun, 15 and 20. We'll come back to the first part of that. That first part is Caleb getting his inheritance. Because there's a lot of cities. Now I'm not going to read every city. Well, let me read you verse 1 where it started at. What are you talking about?
600 still be down.
Still be here what?
Talking about 2
Hey man, shoot, nigga, you ain't saying nothing
at all.
That don't mean nothing. Nobody in the room.
Oh,
Who are willing, that's what you do. If you stop coming, nigga, ain't gonna shed no tear about it. No, I mean that's just period. Like shit,
you're not doing it to prove that to me, bud.
That's our point. Come because you coming for that work. Because you coming to try to prove something to me don't mean nothing to me. Well, shoot, go on and get it then. I got plenty of it.
Okay.
This then was the lot of the tribes of the sons of Yehudah by their families, even to the border of Edom. The wilderness of Sin southward was the uttermost part of the south coast. The south border was up from the shore of the Salt Sea and from the bay that looked southward. I just wanted to establish where it began at. Come on down here to verse 20. This is the inheritance of the tribes of the sons of Yehudah according to their families. In the uttermost cities of the tribes of the sons of Yehudah towards the coast of Edom south will come Jezebel, Edor, Jigor, Kina, Damona, and Adah. Now we're going to stop. You know about Damona?
Mm-hmm. I do.
You know about Damona? Now, this not being funny if you don't know. You ever heard of Ben Ami?
Ben Ami, no.
That's a dude in what it was the late 60s. Left Chicago and they started a dwelling place in Damona, Israel. So when you hear about Ben Ami, Damona, Israel, that's a real city. It's in South Judah in the land. That's where they at. Now we're gonna look at Damona. It means riverbed or silence. You got Dalit, Yod, Mean, Ooh, Noon, and Hay. Dalit, Yod, Mean, Ooh, Noon, and Hay. We come up with that is that Yahushua's work of sacrifice secured you everlasting life. Why is that? Because it's a riverbed or silence. So if I say riverbed, who should come to your mind by the riverbed? You just read it a couple weeks ago. You got Moses, but he ain't the one who I'm talking about. Not Ezekiel. I give you that. Moses was floating on the thing.
You know his name means something like that?
Drawn out. Shut your mouth and tuck your lip in. He's a man, a big man. DJ Bird.
Who is
Jonah.
Jonah?
I was gonna say that.
Jonah. Because he was swallowed up by the whale, and he was in that whale, and he was referring to water in his description of what he was going through. Water's covering his head. That's why I mentioned that, because we had just read that in Jonah chapter 2. Weeds and bulrushes, because he was referring to death and resurrection. I had a couple other cities. I got to remember where they at. We done hit Shiloh. Let's get over here. Let's look at Hebron. What you know about Hebron, Brandon? You know about Hebron?
Only in South Africa.
What?
South Africa. My homeboy Basha, he's from Africa. He said he a real.
Not if he in South Africa. Come over here to verse 51. Yes, sir. Let's deal with this here. And Goshen, Holon, Elo, 11 cities with their villages. Well, what you know about Goshen?
Mm-hmm.
You know about Goshen, Mike?
What is the place?
Goshen is, go ahead.
What is it like in Egypt? What is like?
Goshen is where we dwelt at in Egypt, but there was a Goshen in the land, though.
Oh, no.
Oh, we're reading it. You're not looking at it. We in Joshua 15. That's the inheritance of Judah. Y'all get somewhere and sit down.
Sit down. Sit down.
She said,
Hey, right here.
So Goshen means to draw near. That's what Goshen means. It means to draw near. You got Gamal, Shan, and Noon. And that there was the messenger was consumed to bring forth life. Because how can you draw near unto Elohim? You got to come to the sun. You can only come to the sun because of his consumption. Now let's keep on rolling, right? Let's look at verse 54. You have Humtah, Kirch Arba, which is Hebron and Zior, 9 cities with their villages. And there's a few other cities we're going to look at that you're familiar with that are mentioned. Now here's Hebron. Why is Hebron important? What y'all know about Hebron? What you know about Hebron? Or Hebron? What you know about it?
David posted up.
That's what David posted up at. And how old was David when he began to rule in Hebron? 30 years old. And where was the Ark of the Covenant at that time? It was in Hebron before they went to Jerusalem. Hebron means association. When you look at Hebron, and it's Hebron, you got Kot, Bat, Rosh, U, and Noon. So we see how the Son of the Highest was protected to secure everlasting life. He was protected on what we was looking at being made fatherless because he heard his cries, resurrected it from the dead. Because he's associated with who? His Father in heaven. Well, see, we're going to come back and double back all this stuff, y'all, with it next week. We got one more to look at. I ain't going to get Jezreel right now. I ain't going to get Jezreel right now. Hold on. Because I forgot what verse it was at. Come on back over here to up something about verse 7 of chapter 15. Well, we can make it verse 5. It's still in the land of Judah. And on the east border was the Salt Sea, even unto the end of Jordan. Their border in the north quarter was from the bay of the sea at the uttermost part. The border went up to Beth Bola and passed by the north of Beth Arba. And the border went up to the stone of Bohan, the son of Reuben. And the border went up to Debor, the valley of Achor. What you know about the valley of Achor? You know about the valley of Achor? I need you to read Hosea chapter 2, you and Monica, on your own time. The valley of Achor is the door of hope. He told you that there that he would give you the valley of Achor. That's depending when we get resurrected. But I want y'all to read Hosea chapter 2. And I'm going to take next week. You ready too? I'm going to go through it. And if you ain't ready, I'm going to get my ruler and I'm going to pop y'all on your hand. Right on your hand. Whole chapter. Oh, you want some of that too? I'll make sure I bring a good ruler for you. Not a plastic one too. Old school, thick one like they had when I was in school. Oh, I bet you do. You be popping them churn too. But yeah, Hosea chapter 2. For anybody else too. Hosea chapter 2 is where you'll see about the valley of Achor. It's the door of hope. Towards Gilgal, that is before the going up to Adamum, which is on the south side of the river. The border passed towards the waters of Inshemesh, and the goings out were at Engro. What y'all know about Gilgal? That's it. That's in Judah too. That's in Judah too.
That's the same.
Yeah, that's Ramah. What y'all know about Gilgal? What's the dwelling place of the prophets for one? But if you know about Gilgal, you would know about Gilgal because Gilgal is in Joshua chapter 5. And it's very important. Which y'all like to go see right now. Look at Gilgal, right? It means a wheel or rolling. And it's Gamal, Lamad. And it's the shepherd's way is discipline. Come over here to Joshua chapter 5, because this is where we're going to end it at. Gilgal. Joshua chapter 5, verse 2. Let's see what went down in Gilgal. Because you were right, it's in the northern part.
That's why
it's in between, but listen, it's in between Bethel and Shiloh. And we got to go look at Bethel too. Because we talk about the inheritance, and all this is, see, I told you we're taking a long way looking at that breadth, the expanse of the land. You know what I'm saying? So bear with me, because I'm taking a long way. No, Bethlehem is this. That's the house of bread. Bethel is the house of Elohim. Bethel is the place where Jacob sacrificed after the what you call it? The Jacob's lamb. Yahushua son of Nun, chapter 5, verse 2. And at that time, Yahuwah said unto Yahushua, make you sharpen eyes and circumcise again the sons of Yasharal the second time. Yahushua made him sharpen eyes and circumcise the sons of Yasharal at the hill of the foreskins. And this is the cause why Yahushua did circumcise. All the people that came out of Egypt that were males, even all the men of war, died in the wilderness by the way after they came out of Mizraim. Now all the people that came out were circumcised, but all the people that were born in the wilderness, by the way, as they came forth out of Mizraim, then they had not circumcised. What is the name of the wilderness? Sin. Very good. So if those people who came up out of there, they came up out of sin, they had not been circumcised. So when you come up out of sin, you hear that gospel, you have not been circumcised. You're not circumcised with your penis, but you're circumcised heart. Cut him. Well, you clap like a real nigga on Nutty Professor. He said, now all the people that came out were circumcised. I read that already. Verse 6. For the sons of Yasharal walked 40 years in the wilderness till all the people that were men of war which came out of Mizraim were consumed because they obeyed not the voice of Yahuwah, under whom Yahuwah sware that he would not show them the land which Yahuwah sware unto their fathers that he would give us a land that flowed with milk and honey. The sons whom he raised up in their stead, them Yahushua circumcised, for they were uncircumcised, because they had not uncircumcised them by the way. It came to pass when they had uncircumcised in all the people, that they abode in their places in the camp till they were whole. Then Yahuwah said unto Yahushua, this day have I rolled away the reproach of Mizraim from off of you. Wherefore the name of this place is called Gilgal unto this day. That's why it means to roll. How did he roll off the reproach off of you? We read it the other day. Because the Malachim rolled that stone off that grave. And that man walked up out of that grave. And that's how I allow you to be circumcised the second time. Because now what has he rolled off of you? He's rolled off of you the body of sin. Now you can put on the garments. See, that's why it's important. You got to be, that's why I'm telling you, niggas around here talking about Ice Cube, talking this and talking that. He ain't been Gilgal. He ain't rolled off. You still the same nigga you was yesterday. Most of these brews ain't been to Gilgal yet. You got to go to Mashiach to get that Gilgal. If you go to Mashiach, you see that that's that discipline. Let's finish the chapter out. The sons of Yasharal encamped in Gilgal and kept the Passover on the 14th day of the month, even in the plains of Jericho. And they did eat the old corn of the land on the morrow after the Passover, unleavened cakes, parched corn, and the selfsame day. And the manna ceased on the morrow after they had eaten the old corn of the land. Neither had the sons of Yasharal manna anymore, but they did eat the fruit of the land of Canaan that year. See, niggas be always running this Exodus 16, talking about you can't cook, you can't do this. That's over with. We done went over that before. That's over with. Because that was for the manna. When he said, see what you gonna see, that was for the manna. When they came in the land, they stopped eating manna. They didn't eat manna no more. You know why that's the case? Because see, when Yahushua was in the earth, you had manna. When he came up out the grave and he rolled that off, and now it's Gilgal, now you don't eat the manna no more, you eat the fruit of the land. Because the seed done fell in the ground and it done died and it done bring forth much fruit. What you eating the bread for now? You have no need for that. But that's another conversation for another day. And we'll stop right there. So hallelujah for Yahushua in the word. I appreciate y'all time. We got a lot to look at when it comes to this stuff, so bear with me. Because that's why I said y'all got to read the other chapters with the inheritance, because it mentions all the cities. And that's just to familiarize yourself with all the cities. But we are going to look at certain cities that are mentioned in Judah specifically. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to grab the other places, but Judah specific. But again, I bless y'all in the house of y'all name of Yahushua. I appreciate your time. You who are willing, we'll pick it up on Wednesday because we got a lot to look at. And you who are willing, we'll get to it all. So you who are willing, to the next time. Keep your tongue in your mouth, Renee. No sweat.